The following podcast contains spoilers, strong language, graphic violence, and nudity. Viewer discretion is advised.
Somebody gonna touch the donkey on this one.
Four guys and a movie. Four guys and a movie. Donnie, Brian, Robert, Joe reviewing movies for the show. Four guys and a movie.
What?
In case the donkey, you jackass.
Son of a bitch! Welcome back to the Welcome back to the 4 a.m. podcast, everybody. Where the S is no longer for sucks.
Apparently one of us is going to touch the donkey.
We're all gonna touch donkey today.
Oh, dear.
Oh, I'm your
Touch it
host,
with your lips.
Colonel Rob Missing Legs, alongside my co-hosts.
The decommissioned ship, the USS Johnny Utah.
Okay.
I'm the Chief Petty Commander Admiral of Sector C-11 Brick. Sir.
I'm extremely disappointed.
Mahalo, mother.
That's their official name.
Yeah, special guest Rihanna. This is a
Let's not pick on poor Rihanna. She just took
Poor
a job.
Rihanna.
Well, yeah.
poor
Okay, she's not poor.
Rihanna.
Man.
Let's see. Wildly wealthy, attractive person, Rihanna. I'm so sorry I offended you, Rihanna. Please don't seppuku
God.
yourself on the bow of the Titanic.
I'm sorry.
That was a different actor on a different ship.
Oh, damn, you're right. Okay, I'm sorry. Guys, we have a very special episode. This was a sponsored episode, which are always...
Someone gave us money.
Yeah.
But
And I spent
at
it
what
wisely.
cost?
I spent it on this feast we are enjoying here.
The cost, Tony, was $20.
Which is not true. I pay for all this crap. But the great news is we did get a sponsored episode. We watched Battleship for our...
the bad news is Sharon has declared war. She does not like us. I don't know why.
But again, you're thinking of my wife, Sharon.
No, now I'm thinking of both.
Okay, yeah. So both Sharons have abandoned us now.
I would recommend against trying to tussle with either of the Sharons.
Oh yeah, no, I've tried.
Both of them will fuck you up.
I've tried and failed. Just on one, not on listener Sharon. Honey, if you're listening, my wife.
She's not.
Which she's not.
It's really about time we consummated the wedding, don't you think?
Whose wedding?
You have to ask Liam Neeson first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to talk into his dick like a microphone. Tony, we watched Battleship.
Oh, dear God.
Tell us about Battleship,
Oh,
won't you?
such wonderful things to tell you. So yeah, Battleship was from 2012, rated PG-13, directed by Peter Berg, who gave us The Rundown, Friday Night Lights, Hancock, Lone Survivor,
The Berg.
Downwater Horizon, just a lot of the Mark
What is
Wahlberg things at
Downwater
the end.
Horizon?
That's another
It's
Mark
Watership
Wahlberg
Down.
thing.
Deepwater Horizon.
Or Deepwater.
Oh, okay. I
Horizon.
was like, wait, is that like a remake of the bunnies killing each other?
Yes, but
Yeah.
with Mark Wahlberg.
It's Event Horizon crossed with Watership Down.
Okay, I like that.
So, this movie has an opening with people breaking into a convenience store that apparently was pretty much a shot-for-shot remake of an actual
I've seen that.
video, because we want to keep this timely and not dated at all.
Yeah, that's what you want to do with a movie based on
I would say a
board
man
game.
falling through a drop ceiling is pretty timeless.
True. I guess you don't need to know the video to enjoy it.
If I remember
Stupidity.
correctly, the police officer that was bringing him to the station was like, is this your first time robbing the place? It's like, yeah. He's like, might want to consider a different career. You're not very good. He broke his arm and he had to call the police because he was like, ow, I'm falling and I can't get
In
up.
case you were wondering, Brick did write down all the jokes in the movie. He's going to repeat them to you, just so.
There were jokes in this movie?
So, the design of the alien ships was based off of water bugs.
Stupid.
Get there.
You know, John, he hates them water bugs.
The USS Missouri was actually taken out of port to film
blown
some
up.
scenes and such for this.
I believe it was on the way to a repair,
Okay.
so they filmed on the way.
Well, I'm glad they didn't take it out just for
Yeah,
that.
If you're not going to need repairs before, you're definitely going to
Yeah.
need them after.
They also kidnapped a bunch of octogenarians.
Well, that's the other thing is just
they can't get those
a
off.
whole lot of,
Like
hey,
barnacles.
everybody, this stuff was real. These are real military people, naval officers and others, and real ships and real, and a whole lot
But
of
they
stuff.
blended it so well you couldn't tell.
Yeah.
CGI is
Just so
seamless.
subtle. So, does anyone want to guess the budget this movie had that made me cry?
Oh,
80 million.
oh no.
But wait.
I'm gonna say 150 million.
No.
Oh, no.
I think
No.
I don't know for sure,
that was very
but I
loud.
have the approximation. What do you think, John?
I'm gonna go with 2.
Yeah, it's somewhere in the 2 to 250.
It is 220 is what I heard.
Well, I mean, this was coming right after all the Transformers movies. Well, not even all, just like in the middle of them.
Halfway in there.
Well, this was right after 3.
When they just kept making more and more money every time. Mm-hmm. So I'm sure they were just like, let's just follow the same formula. It's going to make a cajillion dollars.
Just like, do it
I
as a sequel to
guarantee it.
Waterworld.
Want to tell me how well that actually turned out?
I'm going to say it made $100 million.
80 million.
I'll give you another clue. This is also competing with the first Avengers movie.
Oh,
I'm going to say it made $60 million.
We'll give you we're not just talking opening weekend. I'm talking worldwide growth.
Okay, I'm gonna stick with my 100.
85.
Do you actually?
I think it's around 300 worldwide.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah,
Really?
that's 303.
Yeah.
So it wasn't. I mean,
It was a failure.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was definitely a failure.
Did not make its money back.
No.
With marketing and
Yes,
Yeah.
all those shitty Creo sets.
it could have done worse.
Can someone re-up my cheese?
I'll put things
Thank
in
you.
a bowl.
I would like to take this moment to shout out S, who's been the subject of much debate around the office here lately.
S is for shout.
A lot of shots fired.
A lot of shots fired on both. There was salvo on both.
He
both
fired
sides.
one at us. We fired a bunch back.
S is for shots.
Yeah. It started with a comment on our podcast page. Wow, that's a lot of cheese. Thank you.
Okay. I was like, I'll keep
Yeah.
pouring.
4ampodcast.podbean.com. Everybody go there and subscribe. Please rate the podcast and leave a comment of any sort, and we'll shots fired at you too. But no, he said stop eating, and we were hurt by that because we eat to live.
Our
and,
arteries were
and
happy.
arguably we eat to die.
Yeah, we plan on dying eating.
Right. And I didn't feel bad actually. I was defending the honor of my womenfolk here at the table. But we did get another message from S that says eat more. And granted, that may be backhanded. Maybe they want us to eat more so we die faster. That thought has gone around the room. But you know what? At the end of the day, I don't care. If I feel like we've made progress here.
Yeah.
I feel like the air has been cleared.
And not for long.
At the bare minimum, he's told us what we want to hear.
Right, and that's pretty much it. I will never apologize. But, I will always accept an olive branch
Yes.
when offered. So,
So-
thanks, S.
Yeah, that's an official ceasefire on S.
Here's to you.
S is for cease.
We're close with Brick. He's got most of the letters. He's almost there.
S is for Snuggles, Brick.
I like snuggles.
I know you do.
That's
All
why
right.
you're all the way at the far end of the table.
That's right. All right, so with a fully armed John between you and I.
So the $220 million also had to pay for cast members such as Alexander Skarsgård as Commander Stonehopper. He is good at skipping stones.
It's a piece of mining equipment.
Yeah. Yeah, like that deposits loose stones in a mine cart or something like that.
Just like all this food is depositing stones in our
Kidneys.
kidneys.
I think there was recently a world champion for stone skipping, and it was something like 22 skips. It was
Wow.
quite impressive.
So
Sure.
we got Brooklyn Decker as Sam, Liam Neeson as wasted character.
If anybody's
Admiral
trying to
Shane.
If anybody's trying to remember who Brooklyn Decker is, it's not Blake Lively.
That's a
That's the best way
Yeah.
I can think of to
That's how I would describe her. Rihanna as Petty Officer Cora Weps Rakes.
What?
Yeah.
What were those words?
Okay.
So her first name is Cora, Cora. In quotes, Weps, Weps, which I believe it's a military acronym. I forget what it stands for though. And then Rakes, Raikes, or maybe Rikes. I don't know. And then everyone's favorite, Taylor Kitsch as Lieutenant Alex Hopper, our protagonist.
Kitsch is a form of
It's
art.
also interesting to note that it was around this time that Taylor Kitsch was about to be a thing.
Well, he's still a
Or
thing.
a very short time. Well, yeah, I mean, he's technically still a thing.
Was he one of the Twilight guys?
No. But in 2012,
Oh.
yes, he did play Gambit in X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Oh.
So yay for that. But hold on, what was the third? In 2012, he had this that was supposed to be, hot stuff.
Yep.
This?
Battleship.
Battleship.
This film.
Oh,
This film.
okay. I was
Yes.
like, what?
He had John Carter, aka of Mars.
Oh.
And he had, it was Savages.
Oh, they had big plans.
Yes.
That
and
went nowhere.
The world said no.
Yeah.
So, yeah. If you don't remember Taylor Kitsch, that's why. And if you're our Taylor Kitsch, why did you have to write in and say that we shouldn't be chewing?
Here's the thing. I feel kind of bad.
Yeah, I feel like his agent kind of.
That does not. Yeah, that doesn't seem like his fault.
It's not his fault.
He seemed perfectly fine in this movie. Like he was able to act.
For
He's
the
alright.
character he was given. Yeah.
He's a handsome enough guy. He could have been a Marvel of some kind,
Not Gambit.
not Gambit. Or they could have just ditched the accent and he could have been Gambit.
Regardless, I mean, he's still working. He's doing fine. You don't have to worry about it.
All right.
Jean-Claude Van Damme's too old to play Gambit, guys. We just have to
I-
be okay with
The
that.
hell asked for that?
I'm totally fine never seeing Gambit.
Actually, probably Wizard magazine
Bravo.
asked for Gambit, like in the mid 2000s to late 90s.
Battleship.
Battleship.
Anything else we got to go over before we start this thing? Or we just want to plunge right into it?
Did we say Liam Neeson? Did we even mention
Yeah,
Liam
Liam
Neeson?
Neeson is wasted in this film.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we say a lot of things that you just don't.
Yeah, I was
I
thinking
have-
about Taylor Kitsch.
I have a number of things to talk about with the opening sequence and
Yeah.
science.
Yep.
There we go.
Yeah, we get they give us a basic sciencey overview that is maybe like 20% right, maybe.
I mean, I guess 10 to 20% of the concepts, or at least the verbs
Yeah.
and
They got-
nouns used.
They got that space exists.
Yeah.
I mean, they talk about the Goldilocks zone. I mean, that's a thing.
That is an actual thing.
Yeah.
Who touched my spaghetti?
Having said that, we have, at least
Nobody?
in the last several years, found like hundreds of planets that are in the Goldilocks zone and about the right size.
But did we know about them in 2012?
I'm pretty sure we did actually.
Okay.
Like they found a lot of them,
Yeah.
like a lot.
Right. So the one is planet G. The other one's planet F.
There are different classes of planets.
One is
I
Monster
think,
Island.
according to Star Trek, at least.
Hey, Brick, how do we communicate with this planet? What do we do?
We magic. There's a number of things wrong with everything that has to do with their communication stuff. First of all,
What, you don't send messages as lasers?
no, you can. You do
don't
not
fire messages
A,
at
you
people?
do not slingshot them. B, you do not need a more powerful transmitter. Planets are eventually going to receive the first radio transmissions from Earth, and I'm sure they're not as magical looking or powerful as they are today. You don't need a quote-unquote deep space satellite to send messages further. It's
Sharon, are you getting all this?
space.
Sharon
There's-
signed up for this.
There's nothing in the way.
Oh,
like,
no, we just got an email. She took her money back, guys.
Too late.
yeah, there's just, yeah.
The message just says, Dwight, you ignorant slut.
So we go from that to our hero.
Right.
getting drunk at a bar with his brother, Commander Stonehopper. Now he sounds like a shitty superhero.
Commander Stonehopper.
Like, what's your power? Like, as long as there's water and I throw a stone, it'll bounce.
I never miss the water.
It seems somehow fitting for this Wing Commander-esque movie.
Actually, if there were a Commander Stonehopper as a superhero in this film, like he would have.
Oh, he totally would have skipped a hand grenade into the alien
Yeah, it
ship.
would have been totally over.
He also, at some point, probably should have gotten on some kind of communications and went "Barp, barp, 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 barp," and told you to do a barrel.
Well,
You
no,
know-
because he would have had the ending line like, "Looks like you're gonna have to skip a turn."
Now that you mention it, the ships hop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm kind of surprised they didn't have like their equivalent of torpedoes that also hopped like skipping stone.
No, and I'll tell you why.
Why?
If you did not notice, all of the missiles in this film from the bad guy ships look
pegs.
like the pegs in Battleship game.
So,
Yeah.
do we want to get to Brick's realization
I see the horror
at the end of
dawning
this
on your
or at the
face.
beginning of this
What, that this is
podcast?
based on a board game?
Yes.
You didn't know that?
Okay. So Joe told me that it was based on a board game 2 weeks ago.
So did I.
And Tony
God
did.
damn it.
And I completely forgot
Right.
until the credits were rolling at the end.
So
and they
the
were
big
showing me the
Hasbro logo
grid.
at the beginning.
I didn't know
tee
why
you up?
Hasbro had anything to do with. I
Right,
saw it and
that
I was
makes
like,
sense.
"Why is that there?" Also, when I used to play Battleship, this is a Brick history comment. When I used to play Battleship, I added an element. It was planes. Okay,
Okay.
so I would put
Hold on, we
planes.
just got an email. Looks like we owe Sharon $40.
I would put planes using the white pegs all over the board, and they would move every time it was my turn because planes are mobile more than ships are. So someone would say C-11, and I'd be like, "You didn't hit a ship, but you did hit one of my planes." And they'd be like, "What the fuck does that mean?" And I'm like, it's a plane, and you hit it." And they were like, "What the fuck does that mean?"
Do I need to explain the name of the game to you again?
Well,
And it would annoy them to no end because I just kept putting them on the board.
yeah, because here's my favorite part about this whole story. It's not even just he threw in a new wrinkle. He did not explain it to the other player.
Right.
It's just,
It was more entertaining that way.
Added a new game mechanic.
So you are smart at one thing, right? Like there's something you do that you're good
Yeah.
at. Okay.
I don't know what it is, but
That's
yeah.
it's okay. As long as you have one. I'm just wanted to make sure.
I don't know.
All right. So this critical movie, Battleship. Right?
John, do you need my Wi-Fi password?
This
Oh, I'm trying to use my own hotspot.
this
Also, just to clarify though,
Okay.
yes, this is a movie based
wanna
on a
text that?
on a
Yeah,
board
I'll
game.
text you.
This is also a movie that is based on a board game so simple that it can be played with just 2 sheets of paper, and yet it goes on as long as most games of Monopoly.
indeed.
It was a 2-hour-long movie.
So
2 hours and 15 minutes.
all right, well, we have important things though that have to happen.
Right.
Like
Burritos and
this blonde lady comes in a bar
drinking.
and she really wants a burrito, and this asshole behind the bar just closes the microwaves like kitchen's closed.
And I have 2 arguments here.
Yeah.
On the one hand, I understand Taylor Kitsch wanting to get her a burrito because she does have really big boobs. On the other hand, I don't understand the bar guy not giving her a burrito because she has really big boobs.
Yeah, I was watching this movie with my girlfriend. She bowed out real fast, but she did see this scene, and she was like, "No, that woman is sufficiently attractive that she would get the burrito."
Yeah, she would get the burrito. Like,
Also,
Oh, should get the burrito.
yeah, they
Yeah.
made it clear that he was just microwaving burritos.
yeah, that's the other thing I was gonna say. Like, I feel for people that work in restaurants and bars and things like that. But like, we're not talking like the kitchen is closed. We're talking about this asshole doesn't want to microwave a burrito.
Right.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
Like, he doesn't have to
Now,
watch it.
It'd be
Just
one thing
put
if
it
there
in
were a
there.
lot of people in this bar, and like now it's like if I cook it for you, I'm gonna have to cook it for him and all that. But it's
Yeah,
like,
but like
it's
you're going to
literally
sell it to each person. So
Yeah.
what the fuck?
But it's literally like 3 people in the bar, so it's
Yeah,
like
he's
although-
not swamped. It's
Yeah.
not something really putting him out, even if he did have to do it for everyone. Like,
There is also this. The convenience store was closing,
Yep.
which leads me to believe it had to be like really late at night.
Yeah, like 7 o'clock.
Well,
in
Hawaii
Connecticut.
could be like like England where shit just closes early.
I mean, I guess, but it's so like.
Let's assume it's late.
Yeah, I can only assume that it's super late. So why is this girl just coming to the bar, presumably like right before last
She
call?
just got off her job doing physical therapy with,
Physical therapists do not work that late.
I don't know.
Yeah, you don't know.
I know a lot of physical therapists, and they don't work that late.
All right.
Not until 1 a.m.
Well, she's maybe at this point she's in school for physical therapy.
Okay, we'll say that she works the
Right.
midnight.
When I had to go
class.
through some physical therapy, I do remember getting out of there after dark.
She
But
also
it
does
wasn't
seem
like
to
really
travel
late.
to the person, so
Yeah. Either way, she needs a burrito. Taylor Kitsch is like, I'm gonna get you that burrito.
Give
I'm
me
gonna
5 minutes.
Go to the store. The woman's like, store's closed. Get out of my face. He's like, I got this.
She specifically says it is too late to eat a burrito.
Yeah.
Too many complex
Yeah,
carbohydrates.
no, it's
which is stupid because
tell that to Taco Bell.
and Taylor Kitsch is like obviously ripped, and you're just like, don't complex carbs. Like,
Fourth
Yeah,
meal,
also-
bitch.
Fourth meal, motherfucker.
do we want to start throwing flags on the play for fat chat fouls all around? Like the guy not wanting
No.
to cook a
No,
burrito,
this is just a
or
mess, is what
complaining
this
about.
is.
These are
okay.
just retail workers that got to the point where they were no longer where they're allowed to say no, and they exercise the option to say no.
My problem isn't her saying no. It's I don't need your fucking opinion on top of it. Just store's closed.
She's punched out.
Like
give
I
it
still,
to you.
you know what?
can.
I am gonna put a flag down on the bartender. All he had to do was microwave a burrito, dude. She wasn't being an asshole about
that was a
it.
jerky move.
He was straight. He was like an asshole right out of the gate.
He also knew the guy on a first name basis.
And he
like
knew
he
the
knew
dude.
the
He
guy.
knew
was
Taylor
a regular
Kitsch.
customer.
Taylor
like,
Kitsch is like,
Yeah.
and it's Taylor Kitsch's birthday. Like,
Yeah.
get a burrito, man.
Yeah.
Either way, Taylor Kitsch is like, I'm gonna break in this bitch.
It's important.
He's also pissed drunk.
Yeah.
And-
Well, there is that.
Yeah.
But also, like, if he's pissed drunk, you should be like, yeah, this guy needs some food in his body before I'm liable. So
So he falls through like 10 drop ceiling tiles on the way down. I don't know
big man.
exactly what his path was, but
Down.
yeah, he was
Then
he was just crawling on the drop ceiling.
then he knocked the insulation down. I don't know. Either way, it's a funny shot. He does just crash down on the floor, make the burrito, get a ladder, goes to leave with the burrito, and just falls on all these condiments and just gunks everywhere.
It's a man sandwich.
Yep.
Okay. Do we have a thing?
Then he gets out somehow through the roof.
Yes, please.
The cops are showing up at this point. They're chasing him. He's like, I gotta get this woman a burrito. And the cops are like, well, I gotta get you with this taser. And so right as he's about to deliver the burrito, motherfucker gets tased.
Like 3. How many times?
A lot.
Twice, I think.
Yeah.
Well, he's got 2 marks on his back, but it looked like he got hit way more.
Either way, you're like, good. You deserve that.
This sounds like it was more fun than the whole rest of it.
Well, I mean, like,
Yeah.
the guy's running away from cops. There's a big crowd. Shocking.
Yeah.
Doomed.
So
Rob's giving me
Either
the
way-
death eye.
he wakes up in an ice bath. At this point, my girlfriend asked, did someone take his kidneys?
Yes.
I wish.
They took his liver
Wait,
to protect them.
wasn't she watching it with you but without sound?
With no sound, yes.
Okay.
She was watching me Discord stream it with no sound.
Okay.
Perhaps for the best.
Yeah. No, she got the better of the deal.
She missed all of the wow.
Speaking on that note, I just want to point out, I was not looking forward to this. I had not seen this movie before, and on the way over here, I had a bit of a revelation that kind of boosted my spirits a little, because I was like, I know what this movie is, I know everything that's going to happen, and I know all the dumb stuff and whatever, and then it hit me like, no, this is very Michael Bay-esque, but it's not Michael Bay and his crew writing it and everything. So maybe the dialogue and stuff will be a little better. Right around the 4 millionth time I had to hear chicken burrito, I gave up and I just collapsed on Rob's floor.
Okay.
At
He
least
did actually.
He did.
I
He
can
did
witness that.
faceplant on the floor.
I actually thought he passed out. I was very concerned.
I wanted to ask, like, so I did write this in my notes. I'm like, Tony, why do you hate this so much so far?
Because, as I just said, like, the just dialogue, the characters, and everything, it's miserable. It's just unpleasant.
so I have to say I had the opposite experience where I had my base shields up.
Yeah.
And like I'm like bracing for impact. And it, you know, it's not good by any means, but it's not presented in a way that's directly causing me physical discomfort like a Michael Bay movie does.
I'm exactly where Joe's at.
Mm-hmm. Like it's boring, you know, and it's uninspired, but it's not like you know, it's delivered in a cogent way and everything is fitting in the frame. Everything is, you know, coherent. People are yelling, but they're not like, it's not everyone screaming at once, you know?
Oh yeah,
I don't even think it's boring personally. I think it's uninspired.
Yeah, no, I think that's a very good
I think
adjective
it's
to use.
boring though.
yeah. I will give this more credit than a Transformer movie for sure.
Yeah.
But it does, at the end of the day, feel a lot like someone was like, what is worse, Michael Bay movies or Roland Emmerich movies? And someone said, fuck that, hold my beer, I'll put them together.
Yeah. Peter Berg, yo.
Yeah, just, and none of it is really working for me.
We actually skipped this, but I'm assuming nobody here saw this movie before we watched it for this, right? I'm sure all of us saw the trailer.
I never heard of it.
And I don't even like Battleship, the fucking board game. so
Nobody
fuck
likes
it.
Battleship, the board game.
Yeah,
Except Brick and his fucking planes.
I remember
So
seeing
good
the
tactic.
trailer for this and just being like, oh no. Oh no. And
Nah,
then,
I watched this once upon a time during a Lego build.
was it riff tracks?
No.
No.
But it was just background noise. Like, you know, I'm just building. I'm not paying
I'm
attention to
sure
the
it's
movie
fine.
itself.
Yeah.
All right. So, either way, this dude, he wakes up in an ice bath. His brother's like, yo, you fuck up everything you do. So,
Including your kidneys.
Time to join the
yeah,
Navy.
time to join the Navy because that's responsible.
In the Navy.
Well, while he's doing that, he's totally doing a dude, where's my car moment. He's
Yeah.
like, what's mine say? It's like, yo, is my back okay? Yo,
Where's the
tase me,
girl?
bro. Where's, you know, the taco girl or the burrito girl?
You know, burrito girl.
Wait, and this is where I was just also it hurt me because we cut to time later. Does it say?
No. After he's like, you're joining the Navy, he gets hit with a title card right there.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, we cut. Apparently, he's in the Navy for X amount of time. Not really sure.
Broken into at least one more convenience store.
Yeah, he's I guess proven himself to be.
Somehow made it through officer school.
Yeah, and despite the fact that we were trying to get him to straighten up and not get involved with the daughter of his brother's boss, who's his commanding officer, he totally is just they're together.
His brother was just freaked out about him potentially costing him his job by collateral damage.
But that was the thing, like, oh, you broke into a place and you almost got me in trouble with my boss. You can't do
broke
that
into her
anymore.
pants,
so
too.
you're gonna go into the Navy.
Oh, yeah.
Where then you're gonna get yourself in trouble, still mess around with my boss's daughter,
Yeah, and get me in even more
make
trouble.
it worse. Yeah,
Going,
what the fuck?
going deep
What?
into the Navy.
And we don't even get to see any of this.
Well,
Do you want to?
PG-14, dude.
This will be the prequel movie that comes
Yeah,
out.
we didn't need any of this. Like, this honestly should have began
Well, that's the
just
thing.
where the vessels are seeing the alien ship.
Yeah.
But, you know,
Well, you
wouldn't
have had the characters get set up with the backstory.
gives a
Yeah, what
Well, he's-
did that add to anything?
So he's
So that
he's
you
got
know
an
they're
arrogance
brothers.
problem. Yeah,
Well,
you know that they're
yeah.
brothers. They have a connection. You have a connection to the daughter chick.
Hey, you
right?
know what?
Yeah.
You know what?
What?
Movie started. Hey, Rob, how are things going on your ship, my brother?
It'd be going better if you weren't so arrogant.
Well, I'm glad I'm dating Joe. See, that's all you need to do. Like
You're dating Joe?
Oh, and he has to ask John for permission for my
Oh,
hand
you are
marriage.
fucked. He will find you and he will kill
John
you.
will make you suck his dick for Joe's hand.
For access to Joe's cornhole.
You gotta pay the troll toll if you want that boy's hole.
This took a really bad turn.
Guys, this will be a Venn diagram T-shirt
Yeah,
available.
we gotta fanfic this. All right, so anyway, after
Let
that
us know.
spiraled out of control.
Let us know your favorite ships on the podcast.
And we mean ships in both ways.
Sure.
All right, so we cut to sometime in the future. Somehow, Lieutenant Fuck Up here has made it through officer school And he's not a commander on his ship, but I guess he gets good results, but he's terrible with people. Because he is like saying to his crew, like,
pretty
we
much
are
like
going to
me.
be the absolute best today at this exercise in the entire Navy, or I'm going to murder all of you.
We are not here to learn.
Yeah. He's saying like the opposite of everything his brother's saying. But bottom line, we learn about RIMPAC, this joint exercise between the Americans and the Japanese home defense fleet, I guess.
And it's more than just them, right?
Yeah,
Like,
there's like
supposed to be-
Koreans are there too,
It's
and
supposed to be Australia's there.
yeah, basically everyone besides China is there to
Yeah.
practice against China.
It's the naval equivalent of like NATO,
Yeah,
except instead of Russia, it's China and Russia.
And this is a real thing?
It is apparently a real thing, and I still think it's a terrible, terrible name. And I'm wondering how many drill sergeants out there have actually used the name RIMPAC to get somebody to laugh just so they can like screw with them, because it's a fantastic name for that.
Two.
That kind of two.
Yeah.
Rob
that's
says
You've met both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're done.
No, it was one
Okay.
guy did it twice.
so either way.
One was when he was propositioning someone.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
well.
again,
Hey,
this
you want a
movie,
rim pack?
Battleship, right? Battleship fighting alien ships.
Yep.
You know what we gotta do right now? Soccer game.
Yeah,
It's important. Japan versus America.
mean-
soccer game.
Listen,
in Pearl Harbor.
if your movie's about jets, you get a volleyball game. If it's about ships, you get a soccer game.
That is correct.
I guess.
Is that really a trend?
Yeah.
No,
Interesting. What? I believed him. What? I mean, no. I was about to ask what branch of the military would baseball games be associated
It's
with?
the Air Force.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not.
The Air Force does
wrong.
baseball?
No, Air Force does volleyball.
Well, that was technically the Navy.
I can't tell the
Oh,
truth
that's right.
anymore.
Yeah.
Merchant Marines.
Merchant Marines do baseball.
Who the hell are the Merchant Marines?
Coast Guard does badminton. Anyway, so
That explains why we have a badminton set.
So we have this soccer game where the hero's brother, who's in charge of the team, is like, all right, so we got this penalty kick because the captain of the team kicked you in the face.
Yeah, what was that about?
You're bleeding from your face, so maybe you shouldn't take this penalty kick. So
I'm
you know
fine.
we
I'm
can
fine.
win the game. And he's like, no, I'm gonna fuck this up. I said I'm gonna fuck it up. I'll fuck it up. And then he kicks it like
Do you want to die? Do you want to die today, Balake?
You're
Yeah,
Taylor
I'm for
Kitsch,
real.
but you're acting like Taylor Swift. You need to not take this move.
he fucking kicks it into the next time zone, nowhere near the goal. And the Japanese win. And turns out that guy who kicked him in the face, the captain of the other team, is Captain Nagata of the Japanese ship that's in this movie for like 10 minutes.
Yep.
Yeah.
We'll see a lot of him later.
Yeah, he's in a lot.
I think at this point he says something about the art of war. I couldn't care. But we also see that Lieutenant Fuck Up, his name Alex here, and Burrito Girl, Sam, are talking now. And he's like, you got to talk to my dad. And he's like, your dad's Liam Neeson. Like, he's gonna, I'm getting
I've
chopped in the
seen that
throat.
movie.
Like,
Gonna break my arm.
yeah. You know, I know at least I'm getting a bone broken, I'm getting chopped in the throat, and I'm getting my face slammed into something.
He's gonna break my arm and give himself a stranger with it.
Yeah,
mean,
and
at
that's
this point in
before
the
his dick
movie-
comes out of his pants.
At this point in the movie, that guy has already had like 5 concussions.
Yeah.
So he has a legitimate concern.
Yeah.
Like
Oh.
he doesn't want to keep
He
going.
doesn't have enough concerns. For
No,
all
no.
that he goes
He's
through.
still concussed. So
So either way, he's like, I love you. I'll talk to your father. I just have to go there, you know, and we'll be really late and it'll be really awkward.
Yeah.
Perfect. I wrote in my notes stuff in space. I honestly forget what happens here. Like
Things start
it's
falling.
just CGI things are
Yeah.
flying around in space. And we cut to the USS Missouri. And you know, I'm like, because
Yeah, hey, it's a museum. It's a decommissioned
ship.
battleship.
Yeah.
and-
Hey,
I mean, so like
a real
for me,
ship.
this is like Godzilla showed up for me. I'm like, oh, this is cool. It's a big battleship. I'm super happy.
yeah, that's cool.
And we gotta follow these assholes instead.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh,
I
it's
will-
chocolate time. Tony, can I have a chocolate?
For the sake of Sharon, I will voice my opinion here. She'll at least know what I'm talking about. When Liam Neeson says it is the greatest fighting ship in American history, I would disagree with that and say that was, of course, the Enterprise. But you might be able to argue that the Enterprise being an aircraft carrier was not a fighting ship.
Oh, you're talking about, okay.
Yeah, action ships.
The ship that the Enterprise from Star Trek is named after.
Okay, I thought it was named after
But it was the other way around.
Rent-A-Car.
See the oh Jesus.
No,
What?
This is
I like that. It
I
has
think this is a
like
big part of what is
dick hole on the end.
Oh,
It's got a foreskin.
oh no.
You don't want to peel that back, and no, you went right
We
for
aren't
it.
talking about the Enterprise anymore. John's got a peanut
John's
butter
got a
bar
different kind of
in the
ship
Amish
docking.
wedding. Doo-doo butter.
And looked like he just got an Amish wedding night on his face.
Yeah.
but I think that is a big part of
Oh,
what's getting
I get it.
getting you guys through. Well, you in particular is through this is kind of how Rob can get through a Transformer movie because there's big robots.
Yeah.
Well,
You can get
also
through
because
some
I'm
of
retarded.
You can get through some of this because you can go. Oh, it's a pretty ship.
It's helping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just had a shitty week and just have no patience for any of this.
So either way, just to fill you in, Brick, there's almost always been a ship named Enterprise in the U.S. military.
Oh, I thought we were talking about the sports thing again.
No,
Okay.
I don't know where you are.
The soccer and the...
Oh, no, we're talking about
Ships.
yeah, we're talking about ships.
Oh,
What
But-
led you to that conclusion?
You just said.
my brain works quantumly sometimes.
He was back on sports things. It's
When
not
you say quantumly, do you mean just not at all? Is that what you're trying to say?
Oh, no, it works.
forward.
Sometimes not in the same direction.
Yeah.
Yeah, just in 4 different directions.
But yeah, so there was a ship in World War II named the Enterprise that is probably I would argue, the greatest fighting ship that the United States ever produced. And the USS Enterprise from Star Trek was named after that ship.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, so
What about the Queen Mary?
that's a British ship. That was a battleship, though. It
Rob just
exploded
blue-screened.
horribly in the Battle of Jutland. But anyway, so
Jutland being Denmark, by the way.
well, they were fighting near Denmark. Yes,
J-O-T?
J-U-T.
J-U-T.
Because it juts out.
But the Germans call it Skagernax.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
It's a badass name.
That's where the Skeksis come from.
indeed. Either
Those
way,
are real?
Yep.
yeah.
Have you not?
No, I knew that was not real.
I know, Tony, we're not going forward, but I like the circles we're doing.
Tony's got
I'm
feelings.
having fun doing these donuts.
got
Sorry,
feelings
that's
today.
bothering you.
Oh, right where you have to be.
Anywhere
He needs
but
to be
here.
somewhere waiting for a ride.
Anyway, so
Now.
all right. So this guy's like very much late to getting on board this ceremony on the Missouri to begin Rim Pack. And Liam Neeson's speaking about Rim Pack. And you don't want to be late when Liam Neeson's talking about Rim Pack.
Oh, he's in his tighty whities.
But
and
this
everything.
kid's like, oh, is this a battleship or a destroyer? Hey,
It's a
mister,
rim pack.
What's the difference between a rim pack and a rim job?
Let me show you.
You know, of course, Alex, he's like, even though Liam Neeson's going to kill me, I have to stop and explain it to this kid. So he does.
Let me demonstrate for you on this butternut squash.
He also doesn't explain it right.
No,
He
doesn't?
explains it very biased.
He doesn't touch the kid. He shows how to do it on Lake Blively.
No, I don't. He gets out a butternut squash and he demonstrates for him.
American
well,
Pie.
he got that out from
Holy
under
crap, there's a
Lake
shelf here.
Lively's dress.
Yes.
It's not actually a shelf.
Anyway,
It is not a load-bearing
so
device.
he decides to sneak in there just in front of everyone, just walk in front of the whole ceremony.
It's the most
Like,
subtle way. Hide in
yeah.
plain sight.
Not-
It's the art of war.
Not go around the back and work your way forward on the other side. Nope.
No, that's the rim pack method.
Art of war, rim pack, straight ahead. Just go.
Also, apparently needs to be in like the center of this little grouping instead of like just go on the aisle.
Yeah. So either way, we meet the
His
captains that are
brother's
going to
his
be involved in
chaperone.
Rimpack. One of them's his brother, you know, who's a champion, or I'm sorry, a commander of Stonehoppers. And then also the Japanese man that's good at kicking him in the face is one of the captains that will be involved as well. So he's like, all right, I made it through the ceremony. I didn't get yelled at. I
Yeah.
could go talk to Liam Neeson. Or I could just go in the bathroom, sulk, and fight this Japanese man.
Well, he didn't sulk. He basically freaked out.
He's trying to pump himself up.
Yeah.
He needed a minute to rub out the jitters, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And rather than immediately clear the fuck out of there when the man who kicked him in the face showed up,
Oh,
he
no,
instead
he's-
chose to engage
Yeah.
Rimpack.
Yeah.
And yeah, they kick each other in the face more and then appear before the Admiral, who is just like, you're all filth. I'm going to beat you both to death with my swollen cock. After the exercises, though.
Swollen with anger, not with lust.
No.
I need to make that
No, this is a
clear.
rage boner. It's like, I'm not deriving any enjoyment from this.
And neither will you.
Neither will you. All right. So,
I'll give you a bulkhead.
yeah. So the Admiral is just like, you fuck everything up. Like, get out of here. And we cut to the Rimpack exercise.
Come on. Battleship, X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Yeah. John Carter.
You could have such a career ahead of you.
So we see ships involved. We got the USS Ronald Reagan. We got the Samson, which is a destroyer. The Reagan is a super carrier. The John Paul Jones, which is a destroyer, and then I believe it was the Nagato. I forget what it was called. Is the Japanese destroyer. And Stone Commander here is like, hey, brother, I want you to get on a helicopter and fly over from your ship to my ship. I got to tell you something. So then he does, and he's like, yeah, bro, you fucked everything up. You're going to get thrown out of the Navy. I can't save you. You suck. And
Sending you back to your ship on a dinghy.
yeah,
I genuinely liked this speech. Like he tore him a new one, and I felt like this was actually well done. It was like, who am I going to call? I don't have that number. I thought that was a really nice line. I like that line.
So it's sad, and we cut to over at the Navy physical therapy place in Oahu, where Sam, or Lake Blively, walks in and meets Mick.
Jagger.
Not Mick Jagger.
No.
Mick happens to be a double amputee.
His legs are now McRibs.
So I knew it was going to go south. I just didn't. I couldn't tell where it was going to go. Like I knew down, but I didn't know down that hard that fast.
I'm impressed we got past the point where the Japanese were introduced. So
That's right, folks. And every time you eat a McRib, you're eating amputee.
Lieutenant
I don't
Dan,
stay-
you ain't
no one
got
would be
no
surprised
legs.
if that were the case.
Yeah, no. That's why
no,
they're so.
I would be surprised because that would imply there's real meat in there.
Fair enough. All right, so Mick, he's bitter. He's like, I don't have a purpose. It's like when Worf got injured and he wanted Riker to kill him.
He's also not an actor. I think we need to,
No,
we need to make that very clear. Like everyone that's not the three main characters, as far as I can tell, are not actors. They're actual
That includes Rihanna.
that starts with Rihanna and wiggles its way down.
I thought she was
Aside
okay.
from her, they appear to be actual military personnel.
Yeah, Rihanna was. It's not that she's terrible or anything, but she's not an actor.
No.
She's terrible. She's
Yeah.
terrible.
I don't think she was terrible.
No.
She's a very talented singer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm sure a lovely person.
I'll put
but
it this
she
way.
cannot act to save
I
her
have
life.
seen movies, and this is coming from me. I have seen movies with actual actors, and I would rather watch her play their roles.
Yeah.
So there are far worse actors out there.
I don't know that's helping her case. But
Yeah, I don't.
You
I
gotta
don't think
stop
she
watching
is.
asylum movies. Is
Yeah,
all.
I don't think she's 2012 Worst Actress of the Year Razzie winning.
No.
Bad.
No.
Which she did win the Razzie
Yes.
for this, but she's bad. Like it's not good, but it's not like I thought it was going to be legendarily terrible. and
no, it's about what I would suspect from a singer to be thrown into
But
a
okay,
role.
okay.
Yes.
Hold on though. Hold on though. Imagine her in this movie, but take out all of the actual veterans and shit that are in here, and it's just her.
yeah, like she's playing all the characters.
Yeah, no. Yeah,
I'd watch
it's
that.
like the clump situation.
very
No,
nice.
Yeah,
no,
I'm
but
into
like
this.
if you have none of those other people to compare her to, and it's just Liam Neeson, Taylor Kitsch.
Oh, if there were other people in the movie that were acting competently, she would stick out more.
Right.
She is,
That's
but she's
my
blending in the
Perfect
pack.
example. If she
pack,
was
I mean.
in, if she was in Hunt for Red October, she would stick out like a sore
Oh
thumb.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like everybody in that movie Like, I didn't have any problems with anything that was happening in that movie.
Yeah.
But if she was in there playing that character, it would not fit.
I will also say, because of, we were waiting around, we ended up watching some of Neil Breen and Fateful Findings.
We
So
did watch Fateful
Rihanna
Findings.
seems amazing.
Rihanna would have won an
Well,
Oscar.
not amazing, but like she has emotion.
She would have won an Oscar, the Grouch Award.
Back to Mick though. Like, while this man is not an actor, I believe what he is saying.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like you
when
could
he's
see,
like, I will take this leg off and beat you to death with it. I'm like, yes, you will,
like
sir.
you could like it did like a close up of his eyes a couple of times. Like you could see the death that he had witnessed in those eyes, and you're like, okay, this dude has looked down at his own stumps before. We're just gonna let him do his thing.
Yeah.
And he probably is like actually tapping into some his past,
Yeah, dude probably carried his
Anger,
own
whatever,
leg bits back to the chopper with him.
And I mean,
Well, just his own like emotional recovery from that.
Yeah.
I mean that I got real genuine feedback emotionally from
Yeah,
that.
the thing is, like, none
Like
of
a
the
bed
people
to
in
A
this
to
movie
Z.
that weren't actors bothered me by their acting. Like,
and they could have Gary Sinise this guy and like Lieutenant Dan his legs,
right.
and instead I like that they
Yeah.
chose to get an actual.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
Veteran amputee.
everybody in this film that was like an amputee or whatever was like real.
Yeah, all
Yeah.
the veterans were real veterans. All the amputees were real.
I give them
amputees.
respect for that.
Yeah.
That's good.
Again, only would accept otherwise if that was Rihanna.
Wait,
If they
What
Nancy
was-
Carey
If they
did
had her
Rihanna,
do the green screen on her legs and she played the guy, and if she was playing all the parts,
oh,
yeah.
so like if she had did a running tackle on that alien,
yes,
and just bounced off of him like a
yeah, I
Well,
was
she
like,
would have been the alien too.
yeah, she
what,
would've-
80?
Anyway, she's played all the parts, including the boats.
it's a magical
she
way.
also would have come
Including
out
the
with
battleships.
that Weird Al wig and hit him with the suitcase or whatever.
Okay,
so,
I like
yeah.
this.
All right.
Oh yeah, I mean,
So anyway,
UHF is ass.
so he's like, I think they said something like he beat up his last therapist or something like that, and she's like, all right, I'm going to take you out into the woods alone.
Yeah,
Let's go for a hike.
Seems legit.
He's like, can I complain the whole time? She's like, sure.
Scare your gun anyway.
Yeah. Alex calls her though, and he's like, yeah, I fucked everything up. She's like, what else is new? Let me get out of here. I honestly don't remember what that conversation was, other than
It literally was like, I fucked everything up.
Yeah.
I love you. And she was like,
Yeah.
I know, I love you too.
I didn't
You're
talk.
right.
And
I
please
didn't
stop
talk to
fucking
your
things up.
daddy yet because I'm getting kicked out of the
I
military.
think she just ended by saying, "Have you tried not?" That's
being
all.
the worst. At it.
Have you just tried not?
Yeah.
Have you fired your agent yet?
Have you fired yourself yet?
So now we meet Cal Zapata, the nerd character in this movie. And as far as nerd characters in movies go, he's pretty
was
tame.
one.
Yeah, I mean he's just the archetype, but he's not running around screaming. He's not
Yeah.
overly annoying.
Here's the thing. Yeah, you know what? I saw him, and then like my brain, and I don't know how many of you have seen the last two Jurassic films. He was not a Franklin.
Are we talking about the guy who was like, you need to prioritize your information here? I need,
The suitcase guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he sucked.
He did suck.
He made
but
me so mad.
Again, he was not Justice Smith. Is that the guy's
Yeah,
name?
he stood out compared to his peers for
Justin-
this role in other movies.
Justin?
I don't know. The whole thing where he was like, "Are you a cyborg?" And I was like,
Detective
"You are
Pikachu.
He was not Detective
freaking
Pikachu.
stupid."
Yeah.
Who screamed the entire time? Well, didn't scream in whatever the last Dominion. Didn't scream in that, but that was an entirely different situation. Screamed his ass off in Fallen Kingdom, and it was just awful.
Yep.
Yeah, he could have been more of a typical whatever and stuff, and he wasn't that bad.
He still sucked.
but he was still terrible.
Yeah, he has one bad, annoying freak out, and he gets it out of his system and moves on.
He has several of my like.
Well, are you a
It's-
cyborg? That
no,
was
it's weird.
That was the part where I'm like, all right, that's too much.
Yeah,
That was
it's just weird hearing that and comparing my take on Rihanna and your reaction to my take on Rihanna, and then like it's like a role reversal because this guy like really bothered me.
No, he was my least favorite character
Okay,
in the film.
all right.
I don't think Rihanna's acting was good, but I
Yeah,
thought her
his-
character was
All right.
His
whatever,
acting was
fine.
definitely better than Rihanna's, but he was acting like a shit wheel.
Yeah. You are also just overreacting due to your.
Oh, I am
boner
definitely.
for
There
cyborgs.
is. Well, no, not that. It's just I have an affinity to people in that role of science, and I'm like this.
That I don't consider that a role of science, but okay.
Well,
So-
that guy he was an astrophysicist.
Yeah.
He was a shitty one, but
No, he was just a nerd with a suitcase.
Let's not split hairs on that shit.
So, long story short, he's awkwardly on a call with the Air Force and NASA without really realizing it.
It's like, we need to call NASA. They're here. And then it's just cut to a room of NASA.
hi NASA.
They're just like, we're here.
I could have used him just being like, "Motherfucker, can you tell me who's on the phone?
Yeah.
Who else is here?" Like,
yeah,
Else
like
is listening.
I'm not even dressed.
But yeah, that was, I guess, supposed to be some levity, and it kind of was.
so,
Ladies and
Either way,
gentlemen, NASA.
he's got like a grad student character with him that's in the movie for like a minute, and they have an annoying part where they're like, "Stop tapping," or "You tapping."
you're the loud one.
Yeah, but either way, we basically just find out that there are some extraterrestrial objects coming towards Earth.
Yep.
Quick question:
Yeah,
that scientist guy,
yeah.
if you want to call him that,
I don't.
could he have been played by Jeff Goldblum?
He could have been
Oh,
played by
he-
anyone.
he
Literally
is-
anyone else.
Hard ripping Jeff Goldblum from Independence Day.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
that's
Yeah, that's
Okay.
this whole movie is
Yeah.
just.
But I
Okay.
mean, that character is the archetype that all of these characters descend from.
Okay,
He should have been
I
played
definitely
by
felt those
Jermaine
vibes, so.
Clement. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah, he could have been, but whatever. The guy
Either
who
way.
played him did fine at
Yeah,
portraying the
it's-
character.
it's a whatever.
The character is terrible.
it's a big
no,
whatever.
I was just testing. Like I
You're not-
I
We need to
recognized
talk
the,
about this
you
titty
know,
shield.
the
So-
titty shield. Oh yeah, the titty shield.
I was writing in my notebook. I didn't see. What does the alien ship crash into, or does
I
the
don't know, like a
communication
satellite
ship just come
of
in
some
broken?
kind?
Yeah, it was
No.
an orbiting satellite, and
Alright.
apparently they weren't prepared for things to be orbiting around the
Yeah,
planet.
no, these aliens were not.
Can't.
They
prepared.
somehow
That
made it.
can't course
Yeah,
correct,
that's
can't-
all it was.
can't
It hit a
maneuver
satellite,
around
and it
things.
was
Oh,
like
And it was-
I can't.
It was their satellite. It was their communication ship, not a
Yes.
Yeah.
That part I
warships,
got.
So it wasn't like heavily.
Yeah.
So
I just didn't even realize it hit anything.
Yeah, so they plotted a trajectory that hit their own
Yeah.
satellite.
So these aliens come in drunk driving, crash into a satellite, and then they're like, okay,
They just
well,
Matthew Broderick the whole situation.
No, I thought it was an Earth-based satellite.
Yeah.
Nope,
'Cause it was close.
Because the pieces of it is what they recovered to find.
No, that was the wreckage
Yeah,
from
the
the thing
ship.
that split up.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, their
5
ship
ships
smashed
came
into one
down.
of our
Yeah.
satellites.
5 ships came down. One of them was a communication ship. Oddly enough, the communication ship slammed into one of our satellites
Okay.
and it crashed.
Right. So they're like,
they just missed that there was a satellite there.
Yeah.
so using the alien logic, which is somewhat sound here, they're like, let's go to the origin of the signal that called us here, because we can use that to call home to let them know we're here.
Yeah.
So they just crash in the water near Hawaii, because I guess that's what they have to do. I don't know.
I mean, at this point,
Yeah,
I will have long since abandoned realism, but there's no way you could have figured out where on the planet that signal could have come from. It just
Well,
Not unless you have advanced alien technology.
That's right, Wick.
yeah, we're.
Yeah.
by the time that signal hit you,
No,
Oh, don't worry, Bert. I'm going to be getting this later when I start talking about the ship battles. So,
no,
Well, yeah. No,
Okay.
no.
Yeah. At the end of the day, this is like we are far deep into
Yeah.
sci-fi territory where anything
this
goes.
is no longer
so-
sci-fi. This is
Yeah.
fantasy.
or whatever.
Yep.
The point is, it's not
Same.
reality.
Same thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Either way, they're like, let's go get this communication array, right? They haven't made any hostile moves yet. Military's like, freaking the fuck out. So they send some ships over to investigate, rightly so, like you would, and this communication ship destroys Hong Kong in the same generic, we gotta blow some buildings up that we've seen like 100 times.
Blowing it up. Joe.
Yep.
Well, yeah, again, not them
Not your
attacking,
underwear.
just
Yeah,
a
it-
crashing ship.
Yeah. Now,
Destroys a bunch of shit.
if I were in one of these movies, though, John, when I just did that, a building would have fallen over.
But it's okay. They send Hong Kong Fooey to protect them.
Yeah. So Hong Kong's destroyed or whatever.
A dog in a karate uniform.
But the other 4 land near Oahu. And so now we find out that the ship, the components of the ship are made of nothing that's on the periodic table.
Unobtainium.
So I was explaining to Chelsea, I'm like, that thing would be so fucking dense. like, and so radioactive. So there's like, if it's not on the periodic table, like it's going to be made of things with like hundreds and hundreds of hundreds and hundreds of like neutrons and protons, like these massive atoms.
Listen, Tony Stark was able to make a new element
Yeah,
in his.
you could just make those
in
all
his
the time.
garage.
Oh, yeah.
In a cave from scraps.
Actually, I think it was maybe 2 months ago. I did actually read that we had made a new element,
Yeah.
made or discovered.
I mean, it happens, but
Yeah,
like,
but it's
Dill
not
pickle
a.
Where
we
those
do that
ones
every
that
week.
From
yeah,
reality.
the ones on the extreme of the periodic table, like on Einsteinium and whatever those other ones
Jesus,
are like
Joe.
Strombolium.
they're massive, dense,
we're digging
radioactive.
deep in- yeah.
Well, it's not that.
Elements.
It's not that digging that I'm concerned.
Oh, is this the
mining
yeah.
for butt
the
grab.
depths of the
I did
anal-
more than knock a building over with that one. So, that is
Jesus
bad. Yeah, that smells
Christ.
like salt water.
I wish it smelled like salt water.
Yeah.
I mean, swamp water.
I gotta go get a drink.
All right, so
It smells
either
like
way.
salt water if it was humped by Swamp Thing.
Denium, Humpantadium,
All right, it smells like
Stinky
Swamp Thing's bath water
Yeah.
or toilet water,
Yes.
which are both the same. Water.
Yeah, if Swamp Thing had a bidet, like I do, humble brag. But then like had just-
Tried it, didn't like it.
Yeah, you didn't try it right. But then like sprayed just his.
You don't drink from it, John.
Yeah, that's right. You crocodile
Maybe I just don't like
Dundee.
taking a shot on my butthole.
Maybe. Yeah. Well, not with water anyway.
Maybe you also shouldn't be sitting facing the tank.
Reverse cowgirl on my toilet.
I don't know why
what
thinking
Brick's
someone
doing right
pooping
now.
like that is
Yeah.
that funny, but anyway. All right, so
I think we're just broken at this
at
point.
this point, the ship's just some random, like, it's a random Michael Bay CGI thing sticking out of water. And
You mean it's a dick?
it's a dick, yeah.
Random like
But
that.
it's
It's
cyber
like,
dick.
yeah, it's a Michael Bay cyber dick.
Yeah. The best kind.
So the Samson, the Nagata, that's the name of the ship, and the John Paul Jones, they all show up, right? And they're like, ship doesn't show up on radar, because of course it doesn't.
No.
You know, it's a stealth thing. I mean, we have things that do that, so the aliens could have that. I'm okay with that.
Well, also, we're starting to try and get into the fact that this is the board game where you can't
Yeah.
see the ship and you just gotta kind of fire blindly.
So, all right, first mistake. They're like, all right, we got to go investigate this ship. Let's send out Taylor Kitsch, Rihanna, and a man named Beast
Yeah.
as the Welcome to Earth party.
Yeah. Like you do.
Give them what's essentially a life raft with a minigun on it. And just, there they go. Now, at this point, they are on a military exercise, and a lot of them are thinking that this is just a trick, like the Navy's throwing something weird at them to test them or whatever. But this goes for a while before they're like, oh, that might be an alien thing.
I do appreciate the way that they made the vehicles, I guess you could say, sound, because you're expecting them to be like dong dong, and they're standing on them, and it's like a plastic, but not like a chintzy plastic. It's got a very distinctly unexpected sound, but a realistic sound. So I thought that the audio engineering on that was actually pretty well done.
What about the fact that you can walk
hell
on
you
it all day, but if you touch it,
Only the vertical surface.
oh, that's right, the vertical surface. Yeah, you could probably walk on the vertical
He had
surface.
rubber-soled shoes on, Joe.
Yes.
Come on.
You could argue a lot of
He had
different
rubber.
things.
He had gloves on too.
rubber
though.
gloves.
I guess they were leather. Yeah, that's fine.
A lava glove.
Drinking
Again,
out of.
we could argue all potential possibilities, but it's not reality at this point. So,
Yep.
I mean,
So
for
anyway.
Christ's sake,
Or maybe
Taylor
it's just
Kitsch.
complete coincidence that it
yeah,
activated.
Taylor Kitsch and
that is
Rihanna
true.
are,
Yeah.
are vessels to a different world. Let's not get too deep into
So either way, this thing powers up. It rises out of the water a bit. It turns on its little, like, it's got these two blue plot bubble emitters, and these three other ships surface. They have like the red, blue, green color scheme, so they're Huey, Dewey, and Louie. And yeah, the Taylor, Alex Hopper, whatever, gets shocked off the boat. Rihanna goes and
Arc
rescues him.
Flash.
Arc Flash,
We just
yeah.
watched the same
We did
video
watch the
about
same
that
video.
joke.
I think that was made by Michael Bay. Everything in that
Could
video fucking
a
exploded.
lot of things exploded.
I'm pretty sure a man disintegrated in that video too.
Guys shaking hands with danger at work.
Yeah, it was. It was a pretty intense safety video. But anyway, so these ships I thought looked kind of cool till they moved.
Yeah.
But they were like, when they were just hovering there, I'm like, all right, you know, it's a jet kind of thing.
It's a shape.
It's ship-like.
It's ship-like.
I'm okay
it's
with it.
Kind of fish-like. It's
Yeah. I don't know why it hops on water everywhere it goes.
Because it's
but-
stupid.
Yeah.
Because it's a board game.
Yeah. So, well, I guess that's right. You have to take the piece out of the water.
Oh,
move
God
it,
damn
and put
it.
it in.
Yep.
Yeah, that is terrible.
Mm-hmm.
So, at this point, my girlfriend asked me if these are cyber whales. I hope they are.
Sure. Why not?
Close enough.
So, the John Paul Jones is like, I'm gonna blow the horn at it. Gives it like a burr, and it unleashes this like supercharged sonic boom thing that breaks all the glass all over Commander Stonehopper's face.
He looks so silly.
It's actually a
That
fairly
was a good-
satisfying shot.
Yes.
Yeah, you get a good close-up of the shockwave slapping him right in the face.
Yeah.
Hoboken!
The major downside to this, and again, yeah, I know I was just arguing we've left reality, but our little venturing party that are right in front of this
Yep.
damn thing would not.
No,
They'd be-
no,
they'd
no.
be
They'd be done
Yeah.
for the movie.
Yeah.
Well, you know, physics, like the shock wave, right? It gets bigger the further it travels because the air
You
and
mean opposite physics?
and
Guys, so you know, the closer you are to danger, the less in danger you are.
yeah.
Regardless, like dead or alive, they are not. They can't hear anymore. They're bleeding from the ears.
So,
They're concussed.
It would have ruptured organs.
And for the fifth time for our lead, yes.
so at this point, they're like, fire a warning shot.
They hid under Rihanna's umbrella.
Ella.
That was her?
Yes.
So gonna punch.
What? I didn't know that was her song.
Yep. Anyway,
Okay.
I'm also going to break it to you right now. Yes, she is the person from Valerian and the Thousand Worlds.
Really?
Plans, whatever.
she was entirely CGI in that film.
Not entirely.
She was the shapeshift.
She was human at one point. But anyway,
She did take her own form.
the little blobby thing that they meet.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
that's her.
either way, so they fire a warning shot at this thing. And, you know, a warning shot is like you fire it away from the vessel. Like, it's like, hey, you're in range.
You know,
we know you're there.
Like the soccer ball kick.
They fired this thing like 3 feet away from from the alien ship. And it's like, well, fuck you. You know, I'll fire back at you.
Also, while our little group is still in that dinghy, like 3 feet away
Yeah.
from this thing.
No, don't radio them back.
Nope.
Also, I don't think at this point we know that they've lost communications with the outside world. I don't think that's been declared yet. But
The aliens?
these three
people
ships.
inside. Oh, yes.
I think they
So-
were in damage control mode. I don't think they really.
Yeah, they were like, they didn't radio in that they were going to fire near the ship either. They were just like, just do it. So, yeah, the alien ship deploys the battleship pegs, lobs those. As far as a weapon goes, it's okay, I guess. I wasn't too upset by this. I don't know why they lobbed in these slow arcs, but whatever.
CGI terms, though, all those secondary animations were pretty sweet to look at.
Well, yeah, I mean, you could argue it's kind of ridiculous because it's the pegs from the game, but like, that's the aesthetic they were going for. I
Yeah,
get it.
it's not that
fine.
different from naval gunfire.
Yeah, I mean, it works.
Yeah, I thought it was really cool to see the Sea Whiz anti-missile system kick in and shoot a few of them out of the air. And the battleship pegs land on the bridge. One of them lands on the front of the bridge where like the platform you could go out and stand on the John Paul Jones, and kills the captain in the XO. So the Samson, which is where Commander Stonehopper is on, he's like, we're going in, we're fighting. We're just going to fire our one gun on the front of the ship at it. And this gigantic ass ship that's like right in front of them, they miss like 5 times. Rihanna unloads with a minigun on this thing like that's going to do anything. And the aliens are just like, so you really want to do this? Okay, here's all of the pegs. And they're like 20, 25 of them sticking the whole side of the Samson. And Commander Stonehopper is just like, well, I'm fucked. The whole fucking ship blows apart. Pretty cool explosion.
Yeah.
And so now Alex, he gets back from his little boat trip, and he's
3 hours.
turns out just the captain and the XO on the John Paul Jones died. So that leaves him in charge. He's like, don't worry, I'll fuck this up.
He gets right on that.
Yeah.
I also, again, find that rather odd that he is the next in line,
Yes.
considering he's a fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
Well,
whatever.
I mean, how else would the plot have progressed?
Well,
yeah.
that is.
It had to have been that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you've all worked retail.
I mean,
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
we know he's a fuck up, but he had managed to get that far,
yeah.
and it had not been revealed that he was a fuck up yet. He was going to get court-martialed when they got back.
The whole thing kind of just leads me to believe, like, we're the problem, essentially.
Oh, yeah.
Like, every time you're looking at him, he's the world's worst fuck up. The minute we leave him the fuck alone during that whole opening credit sequence, he became captain or whatever he was.
Lieutenant.
Lieutenant. Like, he could do great things
Yeah.
if we would just stop
When
watching
he's not
him.
on the screen.
Yeah.
So either way, he's like, we're just going to go in and fight this because that's working so well. The aliens are like, you're still fighting, so I'm going to keep
Full steam
blowing you
ahead,
up."
ramming speed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Nagata is just kind of like, I don't think we should attack these, but I guess everyone else is doing it, so
He
we'll
needs
do it
backup. He's crazy.
And he
so
just
we're going to do it
immediately gets blown up. But not blown to smithereens like the Samson, so there are some survivors. So luckily, that is able to persuade Lieutenant Fuck Up here that, like, hey, maybe you shouldn't just go ram one of these ships because, there are people that need a rescuing in the water over there.
I thought it was just his XO just picking him up and being like, bro, sir, stop fucking up.
There are sailors in the
Yeah.
water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
The
and-
water's
and
full of semen.
the one we were referring to as Discount Matt Damon is also like, hey, if you don't shoot at these things, they don't shoot back.
I think his exact words, it's killed everything that's shot at him,
Yeah.
sir.
And, so the Alex here is still like, no, we're going to ram it. That doesn't count as shooting.
That's right. It's different.
My rage boner is a lance, and
Yeah.
I will spear it right in the sea heart.
I also particularly like that they say something to him. I forget exactly what, but he's like, no, that thing killed my brother, and I'm going to take it out of the water or whatever. And I'm like, good to know this is a personal revenge thing that you're going to get us all killed for, you
I mean-
jackass.
So,
I see a parallel. W got, kind of pardoned through school and excused from the military by his daddy, and then invaded Iraq for his daddy. So, there's a parallel.
That's what they were going for. Sure.
Maybe.
Anyway.
either way,
Tell us about your other feelings, Brick.
Like all of them?
Yeah, all your feelings.
I have a lot of feelings.
Start at
advance-
the beginning.
can we advance
At the
plot?
beginning?
No.
I
They
mean,
refused to,
before
so
my
I'm-
brother was born, I played Murky and Lurky.
Okay, good.
Yeah. I warned you. So
I'm
anyway,
just going to assume that's some sort of ookie cookie type game.
Well, it was basically hide and go seek, but it was Rainbow Bright themed.
stop asking questions,
Don't
Rob.
think about it, Rob.
So anyway,
Sweep the leg, walk away.
yeah. So,
Well, I mean,
No, Rob, don't make me think about it, because I'm sitting next to him.
all right. I won't make you think about it.
so now the big alien ship
Now the gears are going.
is like, all right. So I think this is the point when Transformers, where the Decepticons would like destroy all the military stuff. So we're just gonna fire some Transformers at Oahu.
Yeah, they fire some Beyblades.
Yeah, they were essentially Beyblades.
I really
Bay
liked the
spelled
design of this
B-A-Y.
thing. B-A-Y.
Dash blades.
No,
So-
I really like the design of these things because I haven't seen in the limited amount of movies that I've watched.
Brick, how many
Something
bowls
that's-
do you need?
Oh,
All of them.
well.
You dirty
I mean, you might as well
collection.
stick with that one for now.
Well, yes. I just thought that I had my bowl.
Yeah. I
Um,
don't think you realized that was a thing.
no, I totally didn't. I liked the design of these things. They were kind of satisfyingly destructive and like they just destroyed everything in their path in this very physically enjoyable way. They just ground the hell out of it, and they did it really
they're
quickly and
essentially
efficiently.
Like mono-wheel saw blade
Yeah.
things.
They had a great look to them.
Yeah. And they also have a whippy, spiky tail in case a helicopter lifts
Yeah,
up to get away from them.
it's like the game prototype, but like at the very end when you've unlocked all the upgrades.
Or that worm thing Shockwave had in Transformers, but
Let's not talk about that.
Or basically an industrial like rock grinder
Yeah.
that's in a sphere shape.
I got your industrial rock grinder right here.
Rage boner.
So anyway, they fire these things at a helicopter base, I guess at Pearl Harbor, and grind up some helicopters. And then they fire one of them at a baseball game.
Yes.
And like I'm confused with the tone that the movie is trying to get us to take towards these aliens.
Your tone. It's all
'Cause
wrong.
it is all wrong. They need to get stabbed in the face with a soldering iron. Because it lands in this baseball field, and this kid just stands there and stares at it, and it looks at the kid, and it's like, kid's not a threat.
Dad.
I'm not gonna bother messing with the kid. I am, however, gonna murder everyone on this fucking highway.
I
Yeah.
need to destroy this bridge, and this kid is between me and this bridge. So instead of just collateral damaging the kid, it moves around it to go destroy
Well,
the
that's
bridge.
what
You do know that this is the sequel to Birdemic, right? It's all about transportation problems.
that makes sense.
No,
Yeah.
That's
there's
right,
zero-
yeah.
There were
Global warming.
zero parking montages in this
Also,
film.
sadly,
That's true.
more child
Are you
death in
sure? Because
Birdemic.
they parked in the ocean.
No, I'm sure.
So either way, this like
But yeah,
we
why?
we don't learn why they attack the highway. It doesn't really make a lot of sense.
And why they didn't
Well,
attack the kid.
I mean, I guess
Yeah.
that is like cutting off means of transportation.
maybe, but so they're like attacking things that are directly threatening them, sort of, but not. Either way, like watching this, I'm like, are the aliens the bad guys here? Or are they just kind of
Dumb.
just reacting to what's
just there.
happening? You know, like they're like, all right, we're getting attacked. We'll fight back. So anyway, now the alien ship also, it deploys a drop ship to go somewhere. And we also find out now that this bubble has completely sealed off Hawaii from the outside world, and nothing can get through. One dumbass on the Ronald Reagan, one of the aircrafts, flies into the bubble and explodes.
I mean, to be fair, he didn't have a Will Smith to tell him not to do that.
He didn't, no. What's happening? Oh yeah, now we're back to Mick complaining about the hike. I believe his grandmother could have made this hike. And some aliens fly by, and some cops pull up, and they're like, yo, you gotta get out of here, there's aliens. Mick's like, okay. And then the cops leave, and he's like, let's go, they're aliens.
I ain't never seen an alien.
Yeah, it's
You
good.
ever seen an alien?
Beats the fuck out of walking with you. Let's go.
Welcome to Earth.
Yep. So now, just for plot convenience, I guess, they just have an alien, like, just have an unconscious one in a suit.
Yeah, found it in the water?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
fished it out of the water. He had it on the end of his dingleberry, and
I think the dumbass was sitting in one of the peg launchers, like he was taking a nap in there or something, not expecting anything to happen. Got fired out. I don't know.
oh no, that was their equivalent of the dumbass who didn't make captain, but he's still somebody's brother. That's
Yeah.
important.
Well, he got
So it's their
seasick
equivalent.
upon intergalactic travel, so
Yeah.
he took too much Dramamine and kind of...
Yo, their
conked
ship
out.
was totally tumbling the entire way. I could see that being a thing.
All right, so we unmask the alien here, and you know he's lying on a pallet, and like the crew's around him. What do we think of these aliens? How they look?
It's a Navi.
No, it's not.
Just make it
It's less creative than the Navi.
pinkish and less blue.
It's sort of like a Voldemort with a sea
Less
urchin on its
creative than
chin.
the Navi.
I mean, it's got more of a nose than Voldemort, but not much.
Yeah.
So from this one scene, I feel like I got more insight into who these aliens were and more about their culture than almost anything else.
Okay.
Because there was a huge amount of humidity that escaped. So that immediately told me that they're either aquatic or that they have some need for a high humidity environment.
Or they just pulled it out of the ocean.
Or they pulled it out of the ocean and water leaked in. The fingers were really freaking cool Because I know that our opposable thumbs is one of the things that gives us an advantage over most other creatures on Earth. And I've always wondered, is there an even more optimal way to do that? And they had like 2 opposing fingers or something. And I'm like, that would give you some amazing
I think
grip.
they had a triple sort of deal going on.
Something like that, yeah.
I think it was 2 fingers on either side.
Probably not good manual
I
dexterity.
think it was like
but-
2 finger, 2 thumbs kind of situation.
Yeah.
So
Some
just
Ninja Turtle bullshit.
and then the chins, I could see that being like either a status symbol or some other kind of thing
Yeah,
where
porcupine
somebody's got
beards.
bigger testicles than the
Yeah,
other one.
I think it was just kind of porcupine quills and place
Yeah.
of hair.
Well,
But, like-
they're reptilian.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well,
So
yeah, whatever.
instead
I
of-
guess lizard
Instead
spikes.
of hair, they had kind of spine.
I thought that
Imagine the
it was
pubes.
a cool creature design.
So go ahead.
No, just I thought it was okay, but it wasn't anything special. I think
No.
somebody else mentioned that the idea of those being people from the future or something, and I was like, oh, that looks like kind of dumb enough where that's probably what's going to be. It's not.
No.
Yeah, my girlfriend also was like, "Are these future people?"
Yeah. And yeah, again, it's kind of whatever those later alien movies were, where it's just like, yeah, it's a weird alien thing, but we're just gonna like poke and prod it and like start taking things off of it and like, put them on our face and like, dude, like you have all kinds of space aids now and
Yeah.
shit. Like,
So
Herpes.
whatever.
It's a space herpes.
space herpes.
Yeah.
Space
We got
Force.
to watch the Ice Pirates.
Again, I would have given.
We haven't watched it yet.
I would have given a lot to have that guy who puts the helmet on just be like, "Oh, hey, check this out, Sarge," and like take it off, and his face just peels away.
It's like when
something,
like that copy of RoboCop and RoboCop 2 takes
Yes.
his helmet off and it's just a skull. But anyway, so they're like, we've seen Independence Day. Of course this thing's going to wake up, and of course it's going to telepathy Hopper, and Hopper's going to see images of like the world under attack or whatever. And maybe that happened. Maybe that's just Hopper's intense craziness.
They did not explain it
No.
at all.
Nope.
He didn't even like mention it.
Yeah, it's not talked about after that.
It probably might as well not have happened.
So-
I didn't know if that was actually telepathy or if that was just him freaking out about the potential
Yeah, who
future.
knows?
Like,
We don't know.
they left it up to the imagination, which
I-
I'm kind of okay with.
I think it was supposed to imply a telepathic link. in
Yeah.
which he was able to discern their intent was to just take her.
Yeah, I'm guessing that's what it was, just so people can kind of be like, yeah, no, they are the bad guy here, but I'm not convinced.
Either way, you don't have time to think about it because the whole fucking back wall just explodes, and a bunch of aliens come in, and they're just like, "We're taking our dude. We're leaving. We don't want to fight any of you. We're just going home."
Oana means no one left behind, or whatever it is from the movie.
Yes, yeah, nailed it. So, but turns out there is one on the ship, who walks into the engine room, and he's just like, "I'm here to break your engine.
Yeah, I'm gonna break this.
I don't really want to kill anyone.
Yet,
I'm just gonna break your ship because I don't trust what you're gonna do with it." Rightfully so. Beast's like, "Well, I'm gonna fight you," and he's like, "You can try that," and he just throws the beast around. And then he gets interrupted though because Rihanna and Commander Hopper here come in and start shooting him. He just bitch slaps the shit out of Rihanna, gives her a fat lip. And then he's like, "I really hate you, Taylor Kitsch. I will follow you to the ends of the earth to fight you. I have an arm that keeps transforming into melee weapons. I'm never going to use it, but I am going to keep transforming into more things."
which one of these fingers do you breathe through?
So this dumbass follows him back up to the deck. Meanwhile, Rihanna's run all the way back to the CIC and got on the controls for the 5-inch gun and just points this thing casually, like right at its face.
For those of you who are unfamiliar with military terms, the gun isn't 5 inches. The projectile it fires is 5 inches in diameter.
The gun's diameter is 5 inches, yes.
Thank you.
Big gun.
It's firing a 5-inch shell.
It's like firing a soda bottle at your head.
So Alex here just casually hops over the railing, and that somehow absolves him from the point-blank blast of this gun going off. And it just, kind of like the end of bad pirate movie.
Oh, there's so
Just
many.
pick one.
The Gina Davis one though, Cutthroat Island.
Oh God!
Where at the end, bad dog, and he gets just removed from the film via canon.
I know we watched that for the
Yeah.
podcast. I don't remember a frame.
A bad
of
guy
that
gets
movie.
shot point blank with a cannon in that, and he
Okay.
goes for a ride. Same thing
Okay.
with this alien.
Did he have a cowboy hat on and go, yeah?
Not quite.
Close enough.
Okay.
All right. So
Like with the velocity, would he go for a ride, or would his legs just stay in place?
Oh, part of him went for a
he-
ride.
His legs went
Yeah.
for a ride. His upper half just kind of evaporated.
Okay.
he'd be in many pieces. All right. So Rihanna says something like "Mahala, mother," and it's implying a fucker was following that, but
Yeah.
the editing is choppy.
They did a couple of those.
Yeah, no, yeah. This is PG-13. We wanted to keep it that way, so.
Now we go back to the Mick and Sam adventure where they come to the cops that tried to send them off the island before. Their cars have been ripped apart, like the Hulk ran through here or something. And Mick's like, so I know that cop's really gross right now and probably doesn't have any bones left. He's been beaten so hard, but you got to go get his keys.
That's right.
I really can't bend over. And she's like, damn. And does, but then she, she has to hide because the aliens show back up.
So she cuts the cop open like a tauntaun and crawls inside.
Climbs in there. And then just a random horse is like,
Yeah, they just have horses.
the aliens are like, oh, horses, and just walk off. That's
Well,
how
I
they
mean,
get out of that.
who wouldn't have that
Pretty
reaction?
pony.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the way, like, the amount of hostility that's been portrayed from these aliens so far, I'm pretty sure they just went over there and pet the horse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gave it a carrot.
Yeah.
They're probably
care of
like,
it.
this planet isn't completely terrible. We're
Yeah.
still going to blow it up, but maybe
Yeah,
we'll take
keep
these
the
with
horses.
us. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the fucked up thing is it's implied that he just kind of went over, put the horse in the head and said, oh, it's nice to see you. I'll be destroying your planet later. Bye.
I mean, at least he was nice about it.
I guess.
So now Zapata, the nerd character, comes out from the bushes and immediately believes that Mick is a cyborg because he has metal legs.
Because apparently he was raised in a fucking cave.
No, I was raised in a cave, and I know more than that guy.
Metal legs and M16 that he
Yep.
got out of the cop's trunk with the keys.
So, yeah, this is the point where Cal has to be the annoying nerd guy, and he does that for a while, and then he's like, so we got to go to my lab or whatever. Because the
They're like,
alien,
you have to go to your
the
lab.
aliens are there. They killed my grad student, and they're like co-opting my communications array. So Mick's like, well, we're going there. And now, yeah, we learned that. So there's like a Pentagon briefing where the guy from Ally McBeal's like, okay, so this ship was a communication ship that crashed. So they're trying to call home using that communications relay in Hawaii. So this is an extinction level event.
Yes.
Just immediately jump to that.
Is Peter McNichol now the guy from Ally McBeal? Is that
I
what we're going
forgot.
with?
I forgot what his name was. I mean, what else? Where have I seen him before? I mean, was
Oh, let's
It's
see.
Vigo. He was
Yes,
that guy.
that's
I know
right.
that. But
Dragon
Yano,
Slayer.
that's it.
Everybody has their cultural touchstone on,
Yeah.
stuff like that, so.
That he was.
I forgot he was the Dragon Slayer.
Yeah.
All right, I owe him a little more than that. He's
Ally
Janosch.
McBeal. Jeez.
Either way.
I've never seen Ally McBeal. I don't.
I remember the commercials.
So
I know there was a
to
dancing
most people,
baby.
John Hamm will be the guy from Mad Men. For me, just because I'm an asshole, I'll always be the guy from Sucker Baby?
Sucker Baby?
Punch?
Yeah, he's the guy from
Sucker
Sucker
Punch.
Baby.
Sucker Punch. Her name is Baby Doll. That's close enough.
Yeah, that entire scene where he's talking about they're going to co-opt this and do that and extinction level event. None of it.
no.
None of it.
So anyway,
Also, what was the deal with it? Because maybe I'm totally wrong here, but we sent out a signal to other planets.
yeah.
Presumably, it got their attention, which is what sent them here.
Yep. So they came here.
Then they used our satellites, which for some reason are now not good enough to communicate with them.
Mm-hmm. Well, the one that's good enough to communicate with them only comes around once a day.
Well, I kind of got the impression that they had a lot of equipment on the ground. which, like, there's multiple questions that I have about why that was necessary. But the implied thing was that they needed to do something to be able to use our satellites with their communication equipment as a backup, because theirs got blown up because they didn't expect us to have satellites.
Sure. All right.
It looked like they were linking power cells.
Yeah.
To
Which,
boost the
like,
signal.
a laser's a laser. It's not going to go faster.
Yeah.
That's what I
Well-
didn't understand about it.
So we learn also now that Discount Matt Damon has been wearing the alien helmet, and he's deduced that it's basically just a pair of sunglasses, and the aliens don't like bright light. And we're like, okay, we'll remember that for later, I guess.
See, also to me, that's Mr. Johansson.
I don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah, I don't
That
know.
guy is Scarlett Johansson's husband. Or,
Oh,
no, wait.
Wait, what?
No,
What?
sorry.
No.
Wrong female actress.
all right. So,
Kirsten Dunst.
oh,
Oh,
That's more
Yeah.
acceptable.
yeah, that seems much more like a pair.
so we go back to the fact that we can't track them on radar, and Commander Nagata's theory here is like, well, they haven't shot at us, so they can't track us either on radar. So how are we going to track them? Tsunami buoys. We'll just make a battleship grid out of tsunami buoys. We'll track water displacement.
And it fulfills one of the requirements of being a board game movie.
Yep.
At this point, I had written in my notes, mind you, this is at least an hour before I remembered / realized this was about Battleship. I was like, I'm pretty sure NOAA has wave buoys. I'm pretty sure that they are not in conveniently equal, like, square grids all over the Pacific. So,
Well, not that anyone cares, but Pearl Harbor being a major naval base also would just have active sonar arrays going all over the place. So everything underwater would be found.
I'm also kind of surprised your note wasn't something more along the lines of, oh, this seems like a cool idea Joe should make into a game. But anyway,
no.
Nope.
Well, I mean,
I'm glad.
Joe kind of already did. I missed that game. But anyway.
They were jamming radar.
I mean, you can't, like,
I think
again,
it was,
we can, yeah, we
I
can.
think it was the material.
Yeah.
It had to have been the material.
We'll say sonar doesn't work.
Yeah.
But, they didn't go over it, but we'll say sonar doesn't.
magic.
Yeah. Either way, all right, tsunami buoys, whatever. So these ships are just hopping around like assholes, just like, da, 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 just jumping across the ocean. You're like, that's seriously how you travel? Like, you cross space?
Like the Warner Brothers, the Warner sisters.
I
Are
mean,
these things just not good at atmospheric travel? Like,
let's imagine for a moment that these things are amphibious in origin biologically. Let's
Okay.
imagine their world is mostly water.
okay.
Let's imagine their predecessors, instead of primates, were actually water bugs. Now, when you start looking at that, instead of trying to build ornithopters, you start trying to build things that jump on water, because you're looking at nature and you're like, let's see if we could approximate this.
Instead of an ornithopter, you have a dumbass hopper.
Yes.
Okay.
Or
No.
someone said, if they're flying, they're not battleships, and we can't call
Yeah.
this
I was
battle-
trying to give a little bit more of a reason.
Don't.
No.
Rob is attempting to kill himself with a Nerf gun.
If they didn't try any harder,
It's not
I'm
even
gonna
loaded,
try.
but a boy can dream.
So, why? I suppose if that emptied the entire magazine into your open mouth all at once, that might actually
You might just choke on
choke.
it.
Yeah,
Be the worst way
you
to
might not
die.
be able to get all the Nerf darts out before you die. All right, so
I wouldn't remember to breathe through my nose.
yeah, essentially, right now we have to play Battleship, where we have to designate like letters and numbers and fire harpoon missiles at that point on the grid.
Target
to hit alien
C3PO, fire. R2D2,
And-
fire.
Yeah, it's about as fun as it sounds. Eventually they hit some of these ships. The ships are kind of just minding their own business, and they don't start firing back till after he's unleashing missiles on them. They blow up 2 ships, and then a third one's like, oh, let's not go in a straight line directly towards them. And turns out they can't hit it if it does that. So they come up with a new plan. They're like,
Crazy thought.
the sun's coming up. We'll just drive over to the island and then turn around. And then when the ship comes, we'll shoot out its windshield with sniper rifles and then fire all the guns on the ship at it. And it explodes.
One of the snipers whom was trained at summer camp.
Yep.
That was
You do not fuck with Japanese summer camp.
No.
Right?
It's true.
They had
never
sniper
been.
rifle class at the Japanese summer camp.
Plus so much
It's
Fortnite.
basically the Squid Game.
Yeah. So, either way, I mean, I thought this scene was reasonably cool. I liked seeing all, the ship just full unload on the alien ship. It blew it up. I was like, that seems pretty reasonable. Good.
Broadsided it.
I did kind of question the relevance of the sniper thing, but it's fine.
Break the windows.
Yeah, it was just to distract them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what else kind of distracts them?
Well,
firing every
yeah,
possible
I mean,
thing you
if you-
have on the ship.
Yeah. They could have done that with any of the heavy machine guns that are on the ship,
Yeah.
too, but
But anyway,
sniper rifles.
just to have a moment.
But their celebration is short-lived because the mothership fires 3 of those Langolier-looking buzzsaw things,
They were like those, yeah.
and the John Paul Jones is just immediately fucked. These things just buzzsaw through it, cut it up. Even as the ship's sinking and they're trying to get off of it, like, it's still like, I'm cutting this fucking thing in half. I don't care. Like, as long as I'm on it.
I mean, that's an example of why I really liked those weapons, because they were still ripping that ship to shit when it was sinking, and at the very end, like, the ship was cut in half. And I'm like, that just, something about that just has such a satisfying, like, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to rip this thing to shreds.
Sure.
Feel
Those
to
of
it.
you listening at home, Brick does like cutting squirrels in half for the same satisfying feeling.
No, I like
Moved on to
squirrels. I would
people.
not do that.
Yeah, he's
I would pet their noggins.
moved on to Jojo.
Yeah, you save their noggins to pet, but the rest of them bifurcate.
Well, he's long since petted the squirrel to death.
Yeah.
That's already happened.
Like Elvira.
Elmira.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
no, he does it with his chest.
Anyway, I thought this shot is pretty cool though of the 2 commanders. Like, I don't know why they're going all the way to the back of the boat to jump
The
off,
captain goes down with the ship.
but he didn't though.
Well, close enough.
Well,
If they had actually done that,
Yeah, they would have been sucked under. Yeah,
I imagine, just the furthest point from the
Yeah.
water.
well,
Doesn't
no, but-
the undertow still take you
oh yeah,
down when
if
that?
you're on a ship that big, like
Yeah.
get off on the sides and swim away as fast as
Yeah.
you can because it's gonna pull you under.
Because even jumping off the back like they did, it's still gonna
Yeah.
displace too much water.
Yeah, and you won't be able to swim up because it'll constantly be displacing water and it'll be rushing in, like holding you there, sinking with the ship. Either way, though, it's one continuous take. Well, it's not one continuous take, but it's spliced together
One
to look like
continuous
one
scene, yeah.
continuous take. So I thought, that part I'm like, this is pretty cool. Good job, movie.
Give me some Poseidon Adventure flashbacks. Yeah.
And then as they jump off the ship, the friggin' saw blade thing cuts the ship in half and it bifurcates down as it sinks.
and then the buzzsaw thing falls in the water.
Yep.
And you don't,
Yeah.
there's never seen again.
It's just
I-
rolling
yeah.
around the Pacific. killing
Save that
stuff.
for the
Yeah, I
sequel.
assume it's just eating up the rest of the little bits of that ship.
Yeah, it's having a great time.
At this point, the movie is like, hey, did we earn some goodwill with you, Joe? You're happy with that scene?
Yeah. Well,
How about we get on a museum and float out?
so this movie is called Battleship,
Yeah.
and it's mostly over. And we still got to get a battleship.
Yeah.
All right. So
Well, we have to get a battleship because did we cover the fact that
that was the last ship.
that his girlfriend Sam
Yep.
and Mick had managed to radio them with the unit that they got from the nerd guy.
Yeah.
Tell them that they need to blow up the satellite station on
So-
the island.
I understand that they immediately had to deal with this 3rd ship afterwards, but you have multiple people that can man weapon stations on this ship. I know no one cares, but Arleigh class destroyer would have both a harpoon and a tomahawk missile that could hit anywhere in Hawaii at that range. They could have just blown it up right there and been done.
With those modern ships, you just kind of say, hit it here and walk away. Like the computer does the rest of it, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, I mean, you'd set a course for the tomahawk missile, but
Yeah.
it'd guide it in and blow it up.
So, like, as far as like
But
human
all
processing
those-
power, you don't have to think
All
about
those
it.
guidance systems are fried by the alien technology.
Well, I believe they weren't able to detect the alien, but they were still.
Yeah.
No, they,
Well, radar was
Wait,
down.
what were we talking
but-
about? Because it was just the island and this one ship inside the boob shield.
Yeah, but I'm talking about this one ship. Like, if its fire control computers are malfunctioning, maybe it can't do it. But like, otherwise, if its fire control computers are functioning, like it has many missiles that could hit that satellite relay right now and just end the movie.
Okay.
But
Also, like,
we'll say for the sake of the movie, like John said, the guidance system isn't working.
They did forget to-
the missiles may have been depleted fighting the other
But
ships.
those missiles sure were working, firing at the
Yeah.
grid on the map, so it should be able to fire at Hawaii too.
as an aside, they did also forget to enclose the relay satellite thing in the plot bubble. Because NASA would have still been able to shut that off or change its course or any number of things.
I was going to say that there's a lot of emphasis on taking out these aliens and setting up these satellite dishes and wherever.
Yeah.
But like, or not satellite, whatever. But they could have just taken out the satellite.
Yeah, there's multiple ways they
Any
could have
number of ways, yeah.
fixed that situation.
All right, so I have to, make this episode longer and list a whole bunch of complaints right now. So the plan is we're going to go to the museum, the Battleship Missouri, in the Pearl Harbor Memorial. The battleship just happens to be crawling with old veterans from the ship. They're just like every time you look at a new direction, like two more of them pop up.
They're like Ewoks
Yeah.
that smell like mothballs.
They actually did look like Ewoks.
But it is straight up filmed like a horror movie.
Yeah.
Where he's just like, oh wait, over there's two more.
they're not-
There's two more.
They're not really in places where everyone should just be. Like they're up on like the
Yeah, yeah.
mast and like the top of the gun turret and
You
stuff.
pay your admittance fee, Sonny. Get off my boat.
They're drumming on the skull of a Korean.
You have any methadone?
So apparently they want methadone. All right, so they're gonna recommission the Missouri,
Matlock.
and the Missouri was the last of the 4 Iowa class battleships, the last battleship in the American Navy to be decommissioned. But it was decommissioned in like the early 90s. And I think it hadn't sailed under its own power in like more than a decade.
I'm also pretty sure it would take longer than a few minutes,
Yeah.
hours to unmothball a ship.
I did some research. I wasn't able to look up if they actually did demilitarize the guns like they did on every other battleship that's on display in America. But let's assuming they didn't do that, the boiler works, all that. You can't store it with fuel on it. You can't store it with gunpowder on it.
That was
or
going to be my
explosives.
biggest
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
And because battleships aren't a weapon system that's used anymore, and guns of that size are a weapon system that's not used anymore, those shells don't exist anymore.
Yeah, but they had them in the gift shop. They were just keychains. They had just popped the chain off of it.
Military
It was fine.
surplus. Just
So when they were loading some of the bays, or whatever those are called, the tubes, some of the things that they had in there looked like they were just barrels. They didn't look like they had actual like ballistic shaped tips on them.
You're talking about the white ones? Those are the powder bags. So one
They looked like metal barrels. Maybe they were the powder bags. They just looked like cylinders.
So one shot from one of the Missouri's guns is a giant projectile, 16 inches wide, and then 6 90-pound powder bags.
Are they actual bags or?
They're cylinders. They're like
Okay, so
whitish
maybe
gray
that is
cylinders.
what I. Okay, then that is probably what.
So
I
you
saw.
put the shell in, ram that in the gun, put 3 bags down, ram that in the gun, put 3 more, ram that in, then close the breech, then fire.
That takes forever.
Yeah, it takes like 30 seconds to
30
load
seconds.
each gun. Yeah.
That's a lot of movement.
Well, the gun is firing a projectile that
you
weighs
work
over
for
a
a
ton,
living?
25 miles.
Especially when you're the elderly.
Yeah. Yeah. So how the elderly were moving all these around, I don't know. But anyway, so they get the ship up and running. At least we get to listen to Thunderstruck. And it's at the end of the day, it's cool to see the ship move. It's cool just to see the Missouri. It's like seeing Godzilla for me. I'm excited. I know it's going to do some stupid stuff in a few minutes, but I like to see it.
They also just had a good feel with they were definitely setting it up to make the veterans look badass. And they are badass. And I felt like that came through.
Yeah, and even though they're limited, like we talked about already, they're limited in their acting ability, but the fact that they were actual veterans, that part is cool. All right, so they sail this thing out, and like I was pointing out to Brick yesterday, like 16-inch guns on the Battleship Missouri can fire 23 miles accurately. They can fire further, but like that's their accurate range. They could have just hit the satellite array from Pearl Harbor, but you know they got it. We have to make this a movie, so they gotta sail out.
Be right off the coast.
So the battleship sails out, and that mothership, it's just waiting by the comm array. So they're like, okay, we're gonna have a fight. What are we gonna do? The aliens are like, well, that's a battleship, but it's not doing anything, so I guess we won't fire at it. Then eventually they're like, okay, we better fire at it. So the writers of this movie saw Pirates of the Caribbean. They were like, this totally works. We'll just drop the anchor to stop the ship dead in its tracks to avoid all of the shots and power slide a fucking 55,000 ton battleship like a Tokyo Drift.
It's one hell of an anchor.
Yeah. So in real life, the anchor would just rip clean of its mountings and ship would just keep going forward.
I did read something saying that this is an actual maneuver that can be used. I don't know. I didn't get to see specifics. I imagine probably not with a
game.
No. Well, no, it might be a real thing ships can do, but maybe not a battleship of this size or something.
In like Pirates of the Caribbean time, you could do crazy shit with your anchor and get away with stuff. Like there's actually a famous naval battle in the Revolutionary War where an American ship gets away from a British one by just taking a rowboat and rowing its anchor out, dropping it in the water, and then cranking the capstan to pull the boat along. And then just repeating the process over and over again because there was no wind. So they got away that way. But like Battleship Missouri weighs 55,000 tons before you put like crew and ammo and stuff on
When
it.
your ships were made of wood, it was much more feasible.
And it's going
And they had sails.
in the high 20s of knots. So
I mean,
Well, that's like I said. I read that this was an actual maneuver. I don't know what kind of vessel could actually pull it off.
HO scale,
Well,
I think.
Maybe it could still be done with modern ships, but probably not.
even a ship of
battleships.
that size, under certain conditions, if you were trying to do something, mass is still mass and drag is still drag. It's going to have an effect.
Yes.
It won't let you do that, but I'm sure it would let you do something. And if you were in an emergency scenario where you had to do,
Oh yeah, it definitely
if you had
won't.
to eke out just that little bit of
It definitely
function,
won't stop you as much as
No.
the ship needed for the movie. But.
So I did watch a video where it was a former Navy admiral watching various ship combat scenes, and he was watching this scene, and he's like, "That's not typically how we deploy our officers to use the anchor."
Certainly not.
So either way, okay. So they power slide the Missouri, just pull it up broadside to the ship, and just fucking unload. And
it's metal as fuck.
yeah,
It's totally
it
unrealistic.
is pretty cool.
but-
I would have liked the guns to be portrayed as a bit more powerful, because really those are like the third biggest guns that were ever built, I think, as far as overall size
on ships,
I think in general, because I think other than
even the space guns.
other than the German like huge rail guns and the Yamato's 18-inch guns, and I think the stupid gun Iraq was trying to build that would hit Israel. I think that's the biggest set of guns that was ever on, like, that humans ever used in war.
It's pretty fucking big.
Other guns had wider calibers, but not like size of shot and amount of energy in the shot. Either way, so
what do you think made it seem not as powerful, or could have been done?
so if
to
you look at
be
like
more
a picture of like any of the Iowa battleships firing their guns, like you see a huge shockwave and a huge fireball coming out the guns. You see like the ship rock from firing a full broadside, and like I would have liked it to be maybe a little more into slow motion-y kind of setup. Maybe see the ship rock back. Like, I like the shot at the end, the final shot they fire. I thought that was done real well, but they felt a little too pop gunny for me in this. But I do appreciate they just blew the fuck out of the alien ship. Like, the alien ship after a couple volleys is done, as it should be. And it just sinks into the water. But it blows up one of the battleship's gun turrets. In the process, firing one of those little peg things. The turrets are armored in a way that's not supposed to happen, but it's alien technology, so whatevs.
Earlier, we did see that it was a dubstep bomb. So
Yeah, it did. That's right. It did blow a man down a hall, then pull him back, then blow him down the hall again. So now the alien ship's fucked. It's starting to founder. The battleship's out of ammo. It has one round left, but it's in the rear turret 3, which is disabled. So they're like, this round weighs over 1,000 pounds, and we have to move it 500 feet to turret 2. And so we watch 6 assholes move. So they said it was a high explosive shell, and a 16-inch high explosive shell on one of these ships weighs 2,400 pounds or 2,200 pounds. One of those two. 6 guys ain't moving it. But also, every battleship has just like a steel I-beam with a hoist on it for doing this exact move or moving other heavy things through the ship. Like, so they would have just had to get it on that and hoist it up and then push it along. It really wouldn't have been a problem. But we need something for them to do while we cut to Mick and Sam. Just fucking like crazy taxi driving through the alien base here, ripping out all their cords from all their batteries. And then Sam...
She has good driving skills.
Well, in fairness to her, there were a lot of lens flares in this base.
Yes.
And it caused her to crash. And her leg is stuck. Nick's like, I don't have that problem. I'm going to get out. And this alien is just kind of, he's in the battle suit or whatever, but he's just kind of like, you guys okay? Nick just runs and tackles him.
Like Mick goes face to face with him.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, what's up, bro? Yeah. And Mick's like, I'm fighting you. That's what's up.
And then Mick takes his helmet off. So now it's a guy with no legs versus a guy who can't see. And it's...
Say it, Rob. You know you...
No.
Moaning like a drunk
You do the
Chewbacca.
honors, John.
I did quote the South Park episode
Okay,
at this
then.
point.
They're coming right for us.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Go with that.
Okay.
So either way...
Yeah, except we are still leaving out the fact that this guy has one cool robot multi-tool arm that should be able to fuck this dude up.
All that does is transform into other things.
Yeah, that
Like a
that
spork.
look like they should
While
be
he's-
useful, but never are.
Yeah.
While he's trying to see Mick to hit.
Well, that's it. His heads-up display's gone, so he can't see, so he doesn't know what he's selecting. He's like rotating through too many menus.
Yeah, I like.
Oh man, I got it set on egg beater.
He's trying to do it
That
from
might have been
memory.
better. No, like Mick is a very capable guy, but he does have 2 prosthetic legs, which I imagine might be a bit of a disadvantage in this scenario. This other dude, he can't see worth a shit, but like, I don't even know what that damn hand's capable of,
Yeah.
but just swing it wildly in front of you.
Well, yeah. Also, Mick can't duck, so just
Yeah,
do the helicopter
yeah,
if you have to.
Well, he kind of does. He's just
Yeah.
like, well, I'm going to just swing my lower half at your lower half and see what happens.
That being said, it's a reasonably good fight for a man with no legs versus a man who can't see. And eventually, he does sweep the legs, take Mick down.
But he does not walk away.
Well, yeah, he's like, I'm gonna crush you with my multi-tool arm.
I finally found the right
I just need
setting.
to find you. Also, this movie's fucking loud, so I can't hear you. But
Yeah.
at this point, though, Cal Zapata comes back, and he's like, I'm gonna be a hero. I wussed out before, but I'm gonna come in with my briefcase and just beat the fuck out of this alien. At which point Mick's like, I'm gonna choke this thing to death with my bionic legs, and that happens. So now they get out of there, and they just in time, because they get that one shell loaded in turret 2 on the Missouri and fire this one round, and it blows up the whole fucking alien camp, and it's like a Rambo explosion where many things explode at the same time.
There is nothing I can imagine that would be producing electricity that would cause the cables to blow up as if there were gas lines.
Villain technology is like
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
Other than that, like, it's just a trail of blowing up. And I'm like, what is that?
Yeah, that's a
Alien
fuse.
tech, bro.
Yeah. Standard alien, villain technology, it works amazing till it doesn't, and then when it goes wrong, everything blows up.
Yep.
Because you can't have that shit lying around for the sequel. It's gotta
Yeah,
go.
that is how it goes.
Now
So-
you got to take that to Scotland.
Yeah. So
That's how you keep secrets.
now,
In Scotland?
Their
everywhere.
their communication system's done. They can't call for help.
That alien is. They're gonna eat.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I'm not.
He's gonna be in haggis. He'll be hidden in haggis soon.
Yeah, we haven't even gotten to that yet. But I'm just saying that
Somehow they'll get the sheep to eat him.
Yeah,
then feed on their
That's once
intestines.
they've finished whatever else. They
Oh,
have
the
planned.
Koreans would just dump a whole bunch of cabbage in there and make kimchi in there. Oh,
Either way, yeah, we're skipping
Anyway.
it.
I'm simply saying that's how villains keep their secrets. Is because if anything looks the least bit hinky, it all explodes.
So the alien mothership at this point, its plot bubble emitter has been blown up in the Missouri's barrage. And so now it's like, I still got my death ball launcher. I'm still going to fire some Langoliers at you. And I would argue that those really wouldn't do much to the Missouri. Like, they could chew through the superstructure, but like at the end of the day, it's like a foot thick STS steel box around that. Like, a saw blade ain't gonna do much.
but it's a space saw.
It is a space saw
It's
blade.
made out of something that's not even on the periodic table,
Yeah.
Joe.
Yeah,
I don't
It's
think
super dense and radioactive.
it's
Unobtainium.
the Missouri though.
and it's sharp.
The greatest fighting ship America ever built.
Vibranium.
I think at the very least we can all say that it's not going to go well for any people that are
Yeah,
there.
whoever's on deck or in the superstructure
Plus,
is in trouble.
we've already established these things are not going to stop till they get through. So
Yeah.
I don't care how thick it is. It's got
Yeah.
time.
There's a big difference between like the amount of metal on the battleship and like the little bit of metal and Kevlar on a destroyer.
I get you.
Just me
No,
whining.
I understand.
So anyway, the death balls though, they never get to the Missouri because now Liam Neeson's like, you forgot about me. I sent a bunch of fighters. They're over here now. Blow up the death balls right out of the sky. Drop bombs on the fucking ship that's sinking.
Hey.
We win. Cut to the medal ceremony. Everyone gets a medal but Chewbacca.
I was just about to
No,
say
he got
that.
one. He had to hobble up there on his fake legs, but he got one.
See, I thought there was about 25% chance you were going to go there. I should have estimated higher.
Yeah, he should have had it higher.
Yeah. So
See, I was like, is it going to be him or is it going to be Rihanna? Either way,
Yeah.
I'm not going to be comfortable with this.
Why would it be Rihanna? Oh, Rihanna doesn't make any sense.
Leia never got a medal.
why is the guy with two amputated legs making any more sense?
Because he was like a sidekick with like the
that's a guy
Princess
who-
Leia character.
It's a guy who cheated on a
Yeah.
Wookiee
I mean,
during
that
a game.
Yeah, that guy would tear your arms off if you.
Yeah, that's what I'm
hit him
saying.
in
Like
chest.
he was like the big burly guy.
I would tear your arms off. You kept making him focus on the green ball on his back.
Either way, so the Mick here gets a medal because he just like beat an alien in a fist
Yeah.
fight,
Yeah.
which
He was like,
warrants a medal.
giving me a goddamn medal. It's like, yes, sir.
Beat a creature to death and he ain't got no legs. Here's a medal.
Then Liam Neeson's like, medals for everyone. Here, Commander Fuck Up, you're not getting court-martialed anymore.
You're
Here's-
getting your own boat.
Here's an honor for your brother. Here's an honor for you. I'm going to give you command of another ship. Cut to them, like all the characters are schmoozing afterwards, taking pictures and whatnot. Suddenly, Alex is cool with the Japanese guy that kicked him in the face before. Nagata, they're buds now. And Sam is like, you still got to talk to my dad. He's right there. And he's like, shit, I do. So he
That's
comes up.
scary.
Comes up to Liam Neeson's like, I want to ask for your daughter's hand in marriage. And he's like, no, I don't care. You saved the world. That doesn't entitle you to
And he's like,
to her.
Well, all right, then I'll continue to just unceremoniously plow her.
That is what's going to happen.
That is what's been happening.
Liam Neeson's like, I'm going to go get a chicken burrito. You come along. Leave my daughter here. That's right. She can walk home.
We can discuss the terms of your surrender.
Yep.
And he woke up on that boat from the end of Taken.
Yeah, with no kidneys.
Yeah.
But a lot more concussions than you
Yes.
started with.
So, all right, so you think that's the end of the movie. Everyone gets awards. Yay. Roll the credits. Peter
The
Berg.
credits were so
Battleship.
long. So long. I so sad.
Yeah,
for
no,
you.
I skipped them because I'm like, I want to check if there's something at the end, but
a lot
I'm
of
not
animators.
sitting all the way through this.
I didn't give a shit.
I think I actually went up, pooped while they were still running, and then came back, and then I was like, oh, cool, there is a thing at the end.
A lot of people worked to make this mediocre film.
That's right.
So,
I do try to watch the credits for that reason.
Bottom line, we cut to Scotland, and like some 3 kids fresh out of Hogwarts are like, they find a space rock and start hitting it with sticks. And then the Scottish equivalent of a redneck pulls up, and he's like, "I'm getting in there." That's just it.
I think the Scottish equivalent of a redneck is called a citizen.
I can neither confirm or deny that.
A Scot.
I'm going
I
to
believe
plead the
is what
fifth
they're
on that
called.
one. So either way, yeah, the Scotsman, he's
He
getting
tries
inside,
all kinds of things.
getting
Crowbar,
in that space rock.
pry bar, chainsaw,
His
blowtorch finally does it.
And then we see from inside the pod, like the hatch is moved away and they're all looking in there. You see an alien hand come out and they all go like, "Bah!" And you're like, oh, they thought there would be a sequel.
Well, more importantly, they thought a bunch of Scots would be afraid of that alien.
Yeah.
This is also when you should have had the twist, and King Candy comes out and leads into the board game.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Battleship 2, Missouri
Candyland.
goes to Candyland.
Yeah.
Like from Wreck-It Ralph?
Okay. That's... Oh, my God.
It's close enough.
It's Battleship.
Well,
Ugh.
yeah, there's the... Isn't it King Candy?
Yeah, I'm going to start vomiting blood. All
I got
right.
pissed.
Honestly, you eat my
Joe's going to go piss.
I mean, that's gonna happen anyway.
What did I?
That's cheese death for you, baby. Joe's leaving.
Yeah, I guess the question... I guess the question we have to ask, but... I feel weird asking anything with Joe out of the room. Well, I suspect that we have another sponsored episode coming up on us.
Oh.
Are we gonna do that next? Are we gonna roll and have a regular episode in between? And if so, are we gonna hold Tony to the one he rolled last time? Are we gonna let him re-roll?
Well, no, if he rolled it, that's it. Like, that's your roll.
Did he pick yet?
No, he didn't.
What's the next sponsored movie?
I guess we'll do this without Joe.
Yeah,
I mean,
guess
we can. Or we
I
can
mean,
wait.
I don't know how long he's
Yeah, no,
gonna be in the Whiz Palace.
let's have Tony pick his movie before I
Yeah, Tony, what would you like for a number 1 roll there?
Shoot myself in the face? I don't know.
Do you want me to pick for you?
No.
Wizard of Oz
Okay.
2.
God, what?
Do we?
There he is.
Oh, yes.
You have
It's
the list
the next
Of
movie.
what?
of ones?
I mean,
Oh, we're enforcing that, aren't we?
Apparently.
so
Last week he said he wasn't going to, but
He did last time say he wasn't going
I
to.
did, but we got to put it like I can't.
That
be
was
the
last week.
end all be all. So we have another sponsored episode coming up.
Let's worry about it after that.
So you want to do the sponsored episode first?
Are we recording right now? Or
Yeah, of course.
Of course we are.
This
why
train
did we
doesn't ever
discuss
stop.
this
Yeah.
before?
This train doesn't ever
Can
stop.
we just finish the episode? You know, like,
Apparently not.
It would help to tell people what's happening next. That's
well,
all.
I thought we have another
Well, we-
sponsored episode.
Okay, if that's what we're
Yeah.
doing
we
next,
still
then
haven't
yes.
gone through the recommend or not recommend Rotten
Yeah.
Tomatoes.
Yeah,
Well,
all that.
we saw-
So, but you were in the bathroom, so I was
Yeah.
just trying to find other things to fill
Gotcha.
the time.
Okay. So yeah, we'll do that next.
Yeah, so Battleship, Tony.
Damn it.
We're so
What is-
organized.
Rotten Alien. I don't know. I can't make a Rotten Tomatoes joke. Rob,
Rotten
you always do
Rihanna,
this.
Rotten Rihanna's.
Okay.
Yeah, RottenTomatoes.com. Critics gave this a score of 33%. Audience gave it a score of 54%.
Yeah.
That's their thought and opinion. What about you and yours, John?
I would give it a solid 54% too. Like, I didn't hate it, but certainly don't recommend it. There were a few one-liners in there that got a chuckle out of me, and it was okay watching it with you guys, but yeah, I definitely would not have been as happy watching.
Rob.
Yeah, 54% seems about right. I'm on the fence about whether or not I want to recommend this movie because, on the one hand, I felt it was not nearly as bad as any of the Transformers films. Like, it was completely palatable, but it was also just palatable. Like, it wasn't good at all, but at the same time, I'm like, a person could watch this. It's dumb, but it's a way to kill 2 hours, I guess.
Yeah, if I wasn't watching it with you guys though, if I was like just put it on Netflix, let me check this out.
Yeah.
I would have stopped and not,
So
not finished.
I'll be the guy. I'll be the
What
guy that
scene
gives
would
it.
you have stopped on? What would have done it for you?
Play the battleship splash across the front.
No, I think he would have given it a few minutes from the guy falling through the ceiling and the taser.
Well, that happens. Doesn't that happen after battle?
No, that's before the
Yeah,
time.
no, that's
right,
before
yeah.
the battleship stuff. I probably would have stopped when we got to the battleship's frog hopping.
Okay.
Like, when it actually started to become the battleship. Like,
Okay.
Nope, this is too stupid.
yeah, no, all right. I see where this is going. I'm done.
All right, but so you still don't recommend you're switching to you would?
Well, yeah, light recommend.
All right.
Just tickling the nuts.
A break.
This was a life-changing event for me. I can't do this with a straight face. No, it was it was okay. Like if you were doing something that took most of your focus elsewhere in the room and just had this on as background noise, like if you were just endlessly mining in Minecraft beneath your basement, looking at you, Rob. You had said that way back when you had a Minecraft server. You were like, I just watched TV all Sunday and just mined forever.
I did.
If you're doing something like that and this was in the background, not a problem.
That
I
may
don't-
have been when I watched.
Yeah,
this.
I mean, I feel like there was a lot of opportunity missed because we never got a motive for why the aliens came there. Like, I don't care how advanced your civilization is, that's a lot of effort and energy and risk. You don't know who's over there. They could come back and hit you harder. You don't know. So I feel like Joe's description of it as uninspired is dead on. Visually, I was entertained. Like, I liked the way things looked. That's basically it. Like, it's okay. You know,
Yeah,
it's
recommend or not?
a slight,
Light
you know,
recommend?
yeah.
All right.
Well, yeah, it's a background movie. You know, looking for something. I'd recommend this as a background movie.
Yeah, I won't. It is, you know,
You don't.
yeah,
The background movie is not a recommend.
no, yeah, yeah. If you have to watch like one of the Transformer movies or this, go with this for sure. But like, there are way better movies that you could watch and better use of your time. So. Even if you are into military stuff, like go watch Saving Private Ryan, go watch, Hunt for Red October or something. I can't think of a more battleship centric one, but I'm sure there's some out there.
They're hard to find.
But you know what? Fuck, go make one because it's better use of your time.
Build a fucking model battleship.
Yeah.
I saw Silent Running not too long ago. That was it was a black and white movie, and that was actually pretty decent.
Okay.
That felt realistic.
All right. But yeah, so I can't honestly recommend this. Like, it's not as bad as others that we've had to sit through, but it's still not really. I don't feel it's worth your time. Joe.
So this movie was a pleasant surprise for me. For a movie that fails in the elevator pitch stage of the presentation, like just a one paragraph blurb about this movie, any reasonable person should go, that sounds like a terrible idea and will immediately fail. For a movie that is that fundamentally broken, it surprised me with like how, like I was coming into this with like my Michael Bay shields on. Like I thought I was going to get offended by a bunch of stuff. I thought it was going to be super loud and brash and just like everyone's screaming, nothing's filmed properly, everything's incomprehensible, and there's nothing redeeming about it at all. That's not the case. The acting is terrible, but I was expecting it to be legendarily terrible. Like I thought Rihanna's performance was going to be something that was like up there with like the all-time terribles, and it's not that bad.
No, it's just bad.
It's
just
bad,
generically bad.
But no one in this movie's good. And like your best actor is Liam Neeson, and you don't use him for anything. Like there's nobody.
That was by his request, I'm sure. He's
Probably,
like, just
yeah.
don't put me in a lot of this movie. Pay me a lot.
You know,
Don't
let me spend a day riding around on an aircraft carrier.
yeah, that was part of his compensation package.
Yeah. But like the aliens are, I don't really like how they look. I think their ships are dumb. But they're still better than like what you get in like, a Transformers movie or anything. I thought the ship fighting was going to be way worse than it turned out to be. It's still not good, but it's way better than like I expected. And at the end of the day, like for nothing else, you can scroll all the way to the end and watch a fucking Iowa class battleship just unleash a broadside
Thought you were
into an
gonna say
alien ship.
3 Scottish kids beating on a
Yeah,
rock.
and have it like do something effective, which I never see in a movie. So like I was happy to see that. Like it's like my kind of kaiju movie. Like I would like to see, more things like that. That being said though, like all those positives I said, like it's still like an F's an F. Like
Turd is still a turd.
yeah,
No matter how much
like,
you shine it.
you failed in the elevator pitch state. Like the very, very first step of making the movie failed. Like you can't recover from that. So I still can't recommend this. And the fact that we're actually filming on the Battleship Missouri, we're getting access to historical artifacts, veterans, all of this stuff, and we can't come up with anything better than just alien. They're here. We're not even convinced the aliens are bad guys. Like I honestly think
But maybe that's intentional, because if you're playing a board game, neither side is a bad guy.
I guess, but like it's the equivalent of these people came here to change a flat tire and we murdered them. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's also
They're just trying to call for a tow truck.
yeah. And also the difference is if you're playing a board game, the player is rooting for them at least. The viewer, I don't know, but like us as viewers, we need to know one side to root for.
Well,
and here it's like,
they sent the
humans
Langoliers
are
out.
winning.
Yeah.
Aliens, is less politically
Yeah.
incorrect than picking another,
Yeah.
Well,
Earth nationality.
And also,
So-
again, at the end of the day, this is a board game that they started with a board game and tried to make a movie out of it.
So yeah, I mean that's where the root of the failure comes in.
Yeah.
Like you're not recovering from that.
Yeah.
Also, not even like Clue or something. This is, as I said before, a board game that can be played with 2 pieces of paper.
Yeah, no, I do like that the veterans were treated with dignity.
Yeah.
None of them
Not by you,
ripped
but
their
No, in fairness though, no one's
Yeah,
treated
no
with
one-
dignity by
Oh, yeah.
Ross.
like none of them ripped their pants off,
Yeah.
at any point, or
Oh,
was
God.
pissed on by a robot, or
Yeah.
The like Mick didn't get like an assault rifle for a leg midway through or something.
I would have been totally fine with that.
That
He
I-
probably would have been okay
I
with that
love
too.
the shit out of Planet Terror, but yeah, not for this movie.
But
But
I can imagine that the elevator pitch for this at Hollywood was
There
like,
was no elevator
well,
pitch.
hear me out.
Okay.
What if they were like, okay, we're looking for a new angle. Does anybody have ideas? Okay. Popular game, Battleship. Okay. How are you
Transformers,
gonna...
everyone likes it.
Yeah, they're doing fantastic. Let's see if we can get some other kind of kid's toy to give us a lot of money. We don't want it to be too obvious that it's just Battleship. What kind of things do you have to make it a little bit more subtle?
Nothing. Make it anyway.
Yeah.
Well, that's ultimately what happened.
Yeah.
But, like, at least for people who are oblivious like myself, it was subtle enough. They didn't hit you, in my opinion, they didn't hit you over the head with the fact that you were playing Battleship. It would have been hitting you over the head if the plot bubble was a vertical wall. That would have been hitting you over the head, because that's literally...
The plot bubble
That's
essentially was.
well,
It was a
that's
cylinder,
what it
but-
was, but that's what I mean. Like
He
they
means
took the elements of the
just
game
Yeah.
thing between
Yeah.
the
and
two.
they built on those in a they took it in a very different creative direction.
Yeah.
Like even until I think it was Rob that first said those bombs that they lobbed were shaped like the pegs. I didn't draw that parallel. So all of the elements that they took from it, they were like, we're going to use this to make a movie.
I think the whole thing, like,
It was an experiment.
they had competent people behind the scenes making this, but again, the pitch idea was a board game turned into a movie,
Right.
and then the double down on that was try and make it like Michael Bay Transformers.
Oh, yeah.
So with that base, this is the best we could possibly hope for,
Yeah.
but it's still not good.
Yeah. So what at the end of the day, what makes me mad, and I'm still mad.
Grinds your gears.
Yeah, like I'm not mad at the composition of this film, because it was way better than I thought it was going to be. But like it's so rare. Like I get to watch tons of movies where it's like a big robot fighting a monster, or an alien fighting something else, or the U.S. military has to save the world from whatever this menace is. Like there's tons of that. There's a movie where they're like, hey, we got a battleship. What are we gonna do with it? And just immediately to like the easiest, laziest written thing. Like it at least could have been like during World War II, the Missouri was out on a patrol and encountered an alien spacecraft and something happened. Like be like it was in the Atlantic, it was a Foo Fighter, like one of those like German Wunderwaffen or something. Turns out they were actually working with aliens, and I'm
It's
tired.
actually David Grohl, just straight up.
I'm
It's
tired
him.
of that too, but that's better than like whatever shit they were gonna do here, or whatever shit they did here. Like it's so rare where I get to see a movie that's remotely in my wheelhouse of what I want to see, and they were just like, fuck. So yeah, I have to give this an F. I do not recommend it, and I would recommend Hunt for Red October as the
absolutely.
premier like naval shenanigans movie.
Plus, it has Sean fucking Connery.
Playing a Russian.
And Tim Curry playing a Russian.
To be fair, our two all-American boy lead actors in this are neither one of them are Americans. So.
And Sam Neill
So it goes.
was on board that ship too, and he didn't even tear his eyes out.
So, what do we have next, gentlemen? Are we still undecided? Is it just
I
going to be
heard-
TBD?
I heard we have a sponsored episode.
We do. But first, we want to thank Sharon so very much for sponsoring this episode.
Thank you, Sharon.
We hope it was everything you dreamed it would be and more.
Thank you, Sharon, and I'm sorry I upset.
I'm not, if I did.
I'll talk to you more about space lasers if you want.
No. So, our next episode is also going to be sponsored episode, this time sponsored by our very own John.
Bum bum bum.
Tell
it
us
Highlander?
more, John.
We
We've done
already did
Highlander.
Highlander and Highlander 2.
There's more.
Oh, we did Highlander
Yeah, we
2.
did.
Is it Conan?
They already did Conan.
We already did Conan.
Don't. Damn it. Why did.
Rubbing his face in it.
We haven't done Conan,
Conan
the
without me,
Destroyer.
Brick. They did Conan
oh,
without
sorry,
me.
sorry.
There's more. There's always more.
But no, I decided that I would purchase myself a lovely Four Guys in a Movie podcast sweatshirt, hooded sweatshirt.
Which I suggest you all do right now.
Teespring.com.
Yeah,
And therefore, that entitles me to choose an episode.
he's entitled.
I am entitled.
What'd you
And
choose, Karen?
I chose The Princess Bride,
Inconceivable.
a film that no one, and I say no one, can say sucks. Really?
Yeah.
Are you are
Yep,
shitting.
nope, that's gonna happen.
All right, Brick. There have been a lot of times I've been tempted to hit you.
Yeah.
This is in the top 3.
I wouldn't say that it sucks. I'm just not particularly entertained by it.
Because he doesn't
That will
understand
be
it.
discussed on the next episode.
Yeah.
This episode is over.
So we'll leave you with that cliffhanger. Holy crap. Thanks for listening,
Way
guys.
past Rob's bedtime.
Yeah. Bye.
Adios.
Toodles.
Good night, everybody.
Mahalo, mother.
Have fun.
I gotta
storming
go
the
touch
castle.
his donkey.
Aloha.
Hey everybody, thanks so much for listening. If you enjoyed the episode, please subscribe, and if possible, leave a review. If you have questions, comments, or would like to sponsor an episode, email us at the4ampodcast@gmail.com. And if you want to support the show, you can buy a t-shirt, hoodie, and more at Teespring. Or gain access to exclusive content by becoming a patron at patreon.com/4ampodcast. Thanks again for listening. See you next time.